Hello, everyone. We're just getting all of the other stuff situated. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. There's your people coming in.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Like she said, I'm just getting a couple settings set up real quick. We'll get this thing going in a second. I got to reset up everything. For some reason, this thing just completely dives out every single time we freaking get off of it. But regardless, what's going on, Corey? How you guys doing? Whiskey, VJ, how you guys doing today? Ready for some Charger football today. That's what I'm talking about. You guys ready for that shit? That's what I'm talking about. That was a good game. We've had some good games though, haven't we, so far? Holy shit. What was I doing? I was doing something of importance. Just a second. Oh yeah, that's right.
You'll have to change the settings.
Okay, not a problem.
Oh my gosh. I'm not really big into football. I'm only a football fan because of him.
I tricked her.
Yeah, I think he definitely duped me on that one.
I definitely tricked her.
Yeah.
She could have been a fan of a good team, but no. Now she has to be a Chargers fan. Doesn't that suck?
He could have also been a fan of a good team.
Yeah, but see, at least I was born into it, right? Like at least I was born into it. You weren't. I don't know. Yeah, have you ever been to California before? Freaking, we went last couple months ago.
Literally with you.
Yeah, exactly. So you had a choice, and you chose to be like, you chose this. It's not right at all.
Nah, I think it was you.
Just being honest, it was not a good choice. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Womp womp.
You had so many options and you chose only the bad ones.
I'll be like all of the Trumpers in the chat that like to go womp womp.
I know, right? Like Corey, I think this is more talking about how bad of a person I am that I allowed this to happen.
Horrible.
Yeah, that I even allowed this to happen. I should be. I lose boyfriend of the year award just for allowing this to happen.
Absolutely horrible. I don't even understand.
Yeah. Oh, is the phone on? What the heck?
Yes, we did not turn it back on D&D.
Where the heck is it? There you are. Now I'm turning you off. Shh. I'll get to you in a second. Shh. I'll get to you in a second. All right.
We'll tell y'all when we're ready to take calls. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll get to you in a second. All right.
Mercy on us.
I got stuff going on over here. You have no idea how many screens I see right now, okay? I am very confused and nervous. All right. So anyways, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, you know what? I will say this though. It's going to be a good game tonight. I will say it's going to be a good game tonight. I don't know if you guys have heard. If you guys don't know, politics. Is it politics of Matt? Politics for Matt?
Oh, so he got to be complicated, right? So his tube chat, his tube one is politics with Matt, but his TikTok is politics of Matt. He had to be complicated.
Yeah, it had to be complicated. Anyways, another great, political conversationalist on the YouTube and on the TikToks and all that sort of stuff. But is a huge Pats fan.
So weird.
And yeah, I know, right? Like I'm sure he's just a fair weather fan from when Brady was there and stuff like that. But regardless, we have a little bet going on. So if the Chargers win tonight, he's gonna be wearing a Chargers hat next weekend on his live. And the other part's not even really a possibility, so I don't even know why we're talking about it, right? So it's not even like there's really 0 point in even mentioning anything else, any other possibilities. So we're going to leave it there. But welcome on in. I don't want to have this whole conversation about football, even though we are having a great football weekend. Truly, truly, truly. We're about to get this thing started, though, and get this thing moving with some phone calls, some debates, some banter, some whatever you'd like to call it. I don't like how whatever is on your screen here is covering my face.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, so you can fix that. So for all you people over there on Ari's TikTok, if you guys are used to, I'm sure most of you guys out there are used to seeing, whether you watch myself or you watch Ari, how we almost
There we
always
go.
have a vertical stream and a landscape stream. We are running both of those right now. Okay. We are running both those right now, but we're running the portrait live. You're seeing that on. Why did you move that? We're running the portrait live on my platform, and we're running the landscape live on Ari's platform. So that's, if you still want to watch it in the other way around, and you're seeing only one of them, you can go to the other one's page, and go ahead and watch from there. And while you're there, you might as well just hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications while you're there. Uh just while you're there. I mean, you already made it all the way to the page. It doesn't really make sense not to hit that follow button from now on. I am going to work at looking at the cameras, okay, because I'm looking at all the screens right now. And so I got the camera high for my portrait people over there and landscape over there. So I'm going to attempt to keep an eye on the cameras over here. But if I go to another thing, then I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
It's a lot to look at. There's literally 3 cameras.
There's so many cameras and so many screens. Like, it is crazy. It's crazy how much we have over there. But y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate that. Hopefully everything's working. These are brand new headphones. These are, oh my god, they're
Same.
stiff.
Yeah, these are also brand new. I wonder.
Can you guys hear us all right? I'm hearing, like, besides a little bit of an echo going on. Hopefully you guys don't hear the echo. But I'm hearing a little bit of one, but as long as you guys don't hear it, I really don't care. So let me know if you guys are hearing an echo at all. It says dishwasher is on. Dishwasher is not on. So if you're hearing a dishwasher, you might want to go to the hospital and get checked. Or I really have some bad audio settings going on over here. I don't know.
Or check your own dishwasher.
Yeah, you might. That is also a possibility. You could also check your own dishwasher. All right, I'm hearing no echo. I did turn down the gain just a little bit. So if you guys do have a problem, if you guys do have a problem hearing me, let me know during the thing and we'll keep this thing going. But for the most part, I am hearing no echo from you guys. So that is really, really awesome. And I really, really appreciate that. We are not going to waste any time because, as you guys know and can tell by the fact that we are completely jerseyed up, that before this game starts tonight, and quite a bit before, we will be off of this live. Okay, I will shut this thing down in the middle of a conversation before I miss a single snap of a Chargers playoff game. So just to let you know, but we are going to get this thing going. Yeah, keep this moving. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Not enough Ari in the screen. What? She's literally centered on it.
Yeah. Like, you're missing both of our shoulders. Like, that's it. You're just missing a shoulder.
No, that's the portrait live saying that.
Oh, probably because technically on the tubes it cuts me off at the bottom. You know how it does like a little black box for text?
Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Is that it? Is she like jump? Is she like you getting a bunch of?
Maybe bring down the camera.
Bring it down. I can do that. I mean, yeah, I can bring down the camera. Is there a horizontal live, Whiskey? Yes, there is a horizontal live going on. It's on her platform. So if you head over to her platform, you can see it with both of us in actually the same screen, which is kind of cool. So that's definitely some way to do it. Raging, thank you so much for the 6-7. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. 6-7, yeah. So cool, awesome. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Phone lines are open, so if you do still support Trump and you would like to have a conversation, come on down. The water's fine over here.
Can you go back to TikTok real quick? And then bring up your backup.
Oh, I don't even have it up. I don't even have my iPad.
No, I did it on my phone.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
Andy, thank you so much for the joy floats over there.
So
That's
cute.
Cool. Yeah, that was cool, dude. I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
I definitely have not.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. That was in the chat. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye. I think they got scared from the jerseys. That's usually what happens. Hello, how are you?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm good. My name is Jose. I'm Spanish. I'm Catholic. I think Benito Mussolini was absolutely correct.
All right, what was he correct about?
He was correct about restoring Latin glory. Our peoples, we've been subject to barbarism for too
Mm,
long, subject to the other Europeans.
to the
It's
other
time for
Europeans? Sir, you said you're
peace.
Spanish, like you live in Spain?
I'm from Spain. My
Yeah,
name is
okay. Well,
Jose.
this
I'm an
live
immigrant
isn't
in
about
America.
Spain, but maybe try a different one, all right? Cool, man. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I saw you guys on TikTok.
All right, well, that's cool. I'm glad you can see us. Anyways, do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do. I do support Donald Trump.
All right, well, that doesn't really surprise me. Uh, anyways, so why is that?
Well, I'm from Tennessee, and down here we've got a lot of good pew pew laws, and I feel like the Democratic left are trying to take them away with their communist agenda. That's something I really can't stand.
Yeah, we're much further into the South than you are. Okay, so like Tennessee, I mean that's
So
like
wait,
almost
where are you guys
that's
at?
like borderline South, isn't it? Does that even count?
It's right on the line, but yeah, it's you're not that
Oh,
south.
wait,
I mean,
where
your
are you guys
phone
at?
number's area code is definitely south. I know where that area
Well,
code is
that
from.
yeah, gotcha.
I'm not gonna put that out there, but like we're
We are
technically
in
as south as your
Florida,
area code is
but
from.
like closer to Alabama, if
Oh
that
yeah.
makes sense.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, yeah, dude,
anyways,
I like
what?
Donald Trump because I feel like he's one of the best presidents we've had in a while, and he ain't some communist liberal trying to take all our freedom away.
All right, awesome. Can you define communism?
Yeah, it's a bunch of people that like to share stuff, and everybody's equal, even though really everybody ain't equal in this world.
So people that like to share stuff. So why do you have such a hard time with people sharing things?
Because everybody ain't equal, and I think it's kind of ridiculous. And we have people out here that are wanting to be equal and get paid the same and all this, that, the other. Well,
So you don't
if we
think
all
you don't
made the
think
exact
hold on.
same,
So
why the heck would I want to be, why would I want to be in the military or something when I could just sit in an office and make the same wage as somebody who, for instance, was in the military?
so you're literally saying that if we made it where like people got equal pay for equal work with the same intelligence, then we wouldn't have a military anymore? Is that your claim?
No, not at all. I'm just saying, why the heck would I want to go do all this tough manual labor and all this stuff and be away from my family for bullcrap pay or the same pay as somebody else?
You literally can. The people that make you think the people that make the most money in this world are doing hard labor?
No, they're literally sitting
Yeah,
in
it's like
an
my buddy Keith.
office
My
riding
buddy
on
Keith,
their
he's
parents'
a crane
income.
operator. That dude makes about $90K a year, which I think is kind of impressive. I mean, guy makes more than me.
Yeah, you can make good money doing things like being a crane operator and all sorts of heavy equipment operators, and I think that that's awesome. You can also make a whole bunch of money, and sometimes a lot more money, actually generally a lot more, much more, money sitting in an office. But regardless of any of that, sir, that just doesn't have to do with equality. When we talk about equality, right, we talk about the people that are doing the exact same thing, that have the exact same level of education, have the exact same experience, all that sort of stuff, getting equal pay for what they're doing, right? We're not talking about that, yeah, unless you're talking about like true communism, but there's no Democrat in the United States that's actually a true communist.
Well, how about like the Soviet style communism?
Still not communism, sir. That was more along the lines of authoritarianism, socialists.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to describe is some type of like Marxist
Well,
Leninist
I mean,
utopia or something like that, and literally no one on in the Democratic Party is even close to like we get like this is what they call people like Zoran
man, I'm
Mamdani,
hearing
where
so many
they're
voices
like,
right now. It's
hey,
not even funny. I can't even hear myself talk.
you can't hear yourself talk. We can hear you
Huh?
talk. Anyways, like Zoran
Oh, there you
Mamdani
go.
is like,
No.
hey, we should make like
All right, well, if I'm
give
hanging
like
up, you
free
communists
like
are hard to debate with.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
have fun. Anyways, and they're like, hey, we should do like public transportation, and they're like communist, and like it's so far from like,
Hey, if that's what it is, let me be very clear, guys. We actually have a form of free public transportation in Florida. I don't think anybody
communist Florida.
who would accuse DeSantis of being communist. That's what I really
you know what?
wanna know.
I think he actually is communist Florida. That's what we're talking about. Y'all, welcome on in. I really appreciate you. We're gonna move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. If you guys would like to support the live, we do super chats, super stickers, of course, live gift goals, all that fun stuff. So if you'd like to do that, we really appreciate it. Also, all the pay links in the bio. But more important than anything, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications so you know when you're when we're live or when we post content. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you? All right, goodbye.
I guess they're getting stage fright.
I really wanted to talk to that person. See, like y'all, like we of course don't mention like people's like like where they're from or their area codes or anything like that, but we can see them, right? And like I was super excited to talk about that person because I mean they don't know who it was. They didn't even keep the phone. Oh, wait. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
20.
You're 20.
Yes.
Awesome. What year are you born?
Hello?
What year are you born?
2005.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
What do you mean by support?
What do you mean by support, sir?
Well, if I say if I support, I'd want to say like on what stance, because I feel like, especially with politics, that I don't really know someone that believes 100% what their party believes in. I feel like it's kind of circumstantial. That's why I asked for a definition.
Well, sir, you tell me whether you support him or not, and I will tell you why you support him or don't support him, and then we can work on it from there. Sound good?
Sure.
Yeah. So, do you support the majority of policies that come out of Donald Trump or his administration?
I'd say, I'd probably say the majority, yeah.
Okay. So, what don't you support? Let's start there.
I probably really don't support any of the Medicaid cuts that he has been advocating for, especially in the Senate. That's one thing where I just don't have any support. To me, it just doesn't feel like it's the right movement for America. So that's probably one thing.
Oh, the echo is coming for the callers.
Oh, do I have an echo?
Yeah. So that's it's not your fault. That's on us. I'll try to fix it. But anyways,
Okay.
So pretty much Donald Trump's like biggest policy, which is to literally cut social safety nets in order to give tax cuts to rich people.
Yeah.
So his like main policy is the part you have the problem with, because that seems like an issue.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Is like, in what sense do you mean support? Do I like fully support him on all his policies? No, there's policies that he advocates for I just don't think are correct policies.
Yeah, but that's like his main one, so you don't support him.
But I still support him on some of his other policies, his foreign policies. I feel like, in a general sense, I would like, if you're asking me, like in the sense of Donald Trump, I've like supported him because I'm a conservative. I would say yes, but not necessarily like in every single policy.
Yeah. So what about his foreign policy? Do you actually support?
So I kind of like the analogy that was said by Teddy Roosevelt, where you speak soft, carry a big stick. I kind of feel like asserting certain dominance, especially when it comes to foreign policy, is important for the growth of America, but also to help maintain, I guess, a global order, at least in the sense of trying to make sure that certain countries aren't, for example, like Russia and Ukraine. I really felt like if Joe Biden would have had a stronger foreign policy, that I don't really think Russia would have tried to even step on Ukraine's toes with the whole entire war.
Yeah. And what was Biden's policy that was weak when it came to Ukraine?
I really feel like his policy, at least during that time, was just kind of more of he wasn't really going to do something, I guess, as far as like militarily.
What
He was
policy
always
was
kind of
that?
just bluffing around.
What policy was that?
Whatever his foreign policy was in that
No,
time.
I'm asking you what his foreign policy is. You're making a positive claim that his foreign policy was that he wasn't going to do X, Y, and Z, or that it was weak. So I'm asking you how his foreign policy was like that. If it's not like that, then you're not, then you're not saying any foreign
So
policy. You're just
what
saying- you're
exactly
just
do you want
guessing.
from the policy? What do you want me to exactly explain to you or describe to you?
Yeah, what you had a problem with Biden's foreign policy?
Well, I just told you that I just don't feel like he was necessarily willing to assert, American
That's not his foreign
strength as
policy, sir.
far
That's
as
just your
through peace.
feelings.
What's that?
That's not his foreign policy, sir. That's just your feelings.
Correct. My feelings about the policy. That'd be my definition. That's why if you want like a broad definition, I'd ask you to provide one.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
So like that's what I was trying to say. Like that's going to be my version of it, my interpretation of it. So that's why I'm asking you. If you want a broad general policy, I'd ask you to define that.
You would ask me to define a general policy. Okay, here, maybe we can level set here. Joe Biden's policy when it came to Ukraine was not weak. It was actually a point of strength, right? Joe Biden actually unequivocally
Okay.
supported Ukraine, right, and supported our NATO allies against the Russian aggression, right? He actually
So what did he
encouraged.
do?
Hold on,
If you don't
sir.
want me
No,
to stop,
I
what
asked
did
you
he
like
do
nope,
exactly?
nope. I asked you like 4 times to get more specific, and now I'm getting more specific. So now you can be quiet, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, perfect. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So when it came to that, Joe Biden had unequivocal support for our allies. All right, that was a point of strength. He actually supported Ukraine, actually, becoming a part of our becoming a NATO ally. Russia, on the other hand, did not want that to happen. And you're right, there is a possibility that during the Trump administration, that Putin would not have support. The war would not have started. But the reason why the war would not have started has nothing to do with being from a place of strength. It has to become a place of weakness, right? Because Donald Trump had threatened to leave NATO. He was doing everything that Putin wanted him to. He was literally bending over and literally letting Putin control the entire narrative, just like he's doing right now. When he meets with Vladimir Putin, even currently, he goes and repeats all the Russian propaganda, all right, that Putin tells him. It's weakness, which is why Putin is doing that, because Putin is allowed to manipulate the situation, where Biden was actually strength. And this is why I'm asking you to actually define a way in which Biden was actually weak, which you have not been able to do.
Yeah, so that's I was trying to ask you to explain a little bit more about that in the beginning, but so what I was trying to explain as far as what Biden was doing was weak, is I really felt like he wasn't making a dominant stance against Russia by saying that if you invade Ukraine, that we would actually step in instead of just in the form of just sending weapons. I really felt like if he would have, obviously because Ukraine doesn't qualify to be part of NATO, I really felt like at least in some way Biden could have at least tried to incorporate at least some kind of, I guess not necessarily like full membership of Ukraine into NATO, but at least find a way for at least Ukraine to possibly be supported more like strong and economically with weapons and possibly troops in Ukraine before the whole war started.
So you think the answer to this situation, A, was that we actually just militarily go to war with a nuclear power, right? That's what you think the answer to this was. And again, no, like beyond that, you say that you support Donald Trump's policy, and Donald Trump at any point in time could do that exact policy and is choosing not to. So how is Trump stronger if that's your qualification for being stronger?
So I would point back to what Donald Trump said about it. He doesn't want there to be a winner in the war. He just wants like killing to stop. He didn't say he would want Russia to win or Ukraine to win. He just said he wants it to stop.
And has it
And
stopped?
so I guess the question I'd actually like to ask uninterrupted. So if both of us are obviously nuclear countries that have that option, I would ask, in what way could you think the U.S. could actually stop the war without having to send like loads of ammunitions and weapons to constantly like supply Ukraine with it? What would be the solution?
Yeah, Biden also wanted the killing to stop. He was very unequivocal about that. Okay, but he wanted Ukraine to maintain their sovereignty when they did it, because it's not just enough to end the war and the killing if you lose your country. Okay, like right now, if China attacked the United States, we could stop the killing by just giving our land over to China. Do you think that would be a good idea?
No.
Okay, why not?
It just doesn't, to me, it just doesn't seem like a good idea.
But it would stop the killing, right? That's your entire point, is just to stop the killing.
Well, no, that's not my point. That's what I was reiterating about Donald Trump's point. He doesn't have a winner. I love for Ukraine to win. I was saying Donald Trump's stance is more of he wants it to like stop. He doesn't want like anyone to win.
But
He
you
just
said you
wants it to
agreed with
stop.
the
That's why he
stance. That's
doesn't
why I
say
brought
who
it
he
up.
wants to win.
You said you agreed with the stance. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I agree with the stance because it's better than just like people
Gotcha.
dying.
So you think that Ukraine should have to give up their own sovereignty, give up their own nation, give up all of their freedom, right, in order to stop the killing, when they are saying we are willing to keep this war going as long as we maintain our sovereignty. But you think that it is better for them to just give all of that up. And I just want to ask you at that point,
But
what
here's the
makes you,
question,
hold
though,
on, sir,
is
here's
if
the
they keep
question.
fighting,
What
they keep
makes you,
dying,
sir,
then they've already given up everything. You can't have a country without people.
Sir. My question to you is, who the fuck do you think you are to make that decision for Ukraine?
Well, I'm not making the decision. I'm stating my position on it. You asked me what I thought about it. I told you what I thought. I haven't made a decision. I'm not the president. So
Yes,
my question
who
is, why
makes
are you going to ask me a
what
question
makes
about something
Donald
if you're
what
going to
makes
say
you
it's
think
like the
Donald
actual
Trump
decision?
has that authority? Why does Donald Trump have the authority to tell Ukraine that they should be willing to give up their own country?
Because the United States is backing them with all of the funds and economical means to actually like continue the war. If it wasn't for the U.S. supplying Ukraine, Ukraine would have already fallen by now.
Okay, yeah, possibly. That doesn't mean that you
Well,
think
what do you
Ukraine's
mean
gonna hold on.
possibly?
But
Go
you
ahead.
think
No, I
Ukraine's
want
gonna
you to
hold on,
explain
hold on,
possibly
sir,
because
hold on, sir,
in what
sir.
way would they still be allowed to actually
Okay,
succeed
well then,
without
I
U.S.
guess
backing the entire, Ukraine?
I was literally getting ready to say that. You didn't have to cut me off. You would have already had the answer to your question.
Okay, go ahead, give it to me.
Yeah, what I was saying is, do you think Ukraine would have stopped if the United States wasn't funding them? Because the EU said that they were going to continue funding them with any money that the United States stopped funding them with. Plus, the EU and the NATO allies were actually funding them more than the United States were. So if Donald Trump
What was the numbers on
wasn't
that?
funding them, huh?
Well, you said they're funding more than the U.S. How much have they been spending more than the U.S. has?
They've literally spent tens of billions of dollars more than the U.S. has.
Okay, well, you're making a claim. I'm asking you to provide more information. You're just saying tens of billions. Like, what's the exact number?
Sir, why does the exact number matter? Well, if it's 25 or 28, what does that change for you?
Because I want to see what country is actually supporting them the most. That's why I'm asking about the numbers. Because you're the one who's making
Why
a
does it
claim
matter which
that other
country if
countries are
the
paying more.
European nations as a whole are doing it? You're strawmanning the
Like
argument,
what?
sir. You're strawmanning the argument because you don't like how the
It's
rhetoric is
not.
going.
It's not a straw
Regardless of
man when
any
you
of
ask for
that,
the
sir,
evidence.
your
To
entire point,
defer
sir,
away from it,
sir,
that's another fallacy.
sir, you're strawmanning the argument because you're losing it. Okay, please stop. All right, this is sad.
Dude, I'm not losing. I'm trying to have a conversation.
No, you're not. You're trying to strawman the argument. You're trying to freaking break
Okay,
down
what
a
is the
semantical argument of
qualification for a straw
exactly
man
the
fallacy?
dollar amount
Please
that the
explain
EU
a straw
has spent
man.
more, which I could provide to you. Okay, that's not a problem. Or you could just look it up yourself and be an adult. Either way, okay. And I'm sure I can pull that up while I'm talking to you. But the entire point of it was, sir, you have not provided me any way, shape, or form, any type of evidence to how Biden was weaker than Trump on it, because Biden has provided them with weapons. So has Donald Trump. We've still been providing them with weapons. You said Biden could have put the U.S. military in place in order to stop this conflict. So could Donald Trump, but he hasn't done that. Okay. The only thing
So let me back up. I think
is
you
that Putin
misunderstood me. So
has just
the
allowed Trump
assertion I
to
was making in the
capitulate against him
beginning,
at all
hey,
point in
I'm trying
time.
to talk here. I'm trying to have a
I was in the
conversation.
middle
I've
of a
let you
sentence. That's not
speak
your
multiple
time to
times. So if I can't speak, what's the point of a
Sir, I let you
conversation?
talk plenty. You can stop the whining though.
I'm not, dude. I'm 20. I'm not whining. I'm just trying to tell you the position I was trying to say is that. So Joe Biden was president when the war started. Is that correct?
What'd you say?
Oh,
Technically,
sorry.
no.
Oh, did you say the war started
do I
under
have
Biden? No, the
an
war
echo?
started in 2014.
Yeah. So was Joe Biden president when Ukraine was attacked by Russia?
Yes, and so is Trump as Ukraine is attacked by Russia. But the war started in 2014.
Okay, it started in 2014. You talking about Crimea or?
I'm talking about when Russia first invaded Ukraine, okay, which started the war in 2014. Yes, with the annexation of Crimea and the freaking
Okay.
invasion into the Donbass region.
Okay, so then in 2021, what happened exactly? Was that more of a full-scale invasion into Ukraine?
That was an escalation.
Okay, so it was an escalation. So who was president during the escalation?
Biden.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to say is that
Did the
the
war not
difference is I
escalate
feel
in
like
2025 also?
what was that?
The war escalated in 2025 also. The amount of civilian casualties in Ukraine skyrocketed in 2025. So there was another escalation under the Trump administration. Who was the president in 2025?
Donald Trump still is the current
Oh, okay.
president.
So who was the president during that escalation, sir?
Donald Trump.
Okay, then. So what's your fucking point?
So the point is that what I'm trying to say is that before a massive escalation occurred in 2021, where Joe Biden was president, he knew of the circumstances within Ukraine. What I'm trying to say is I really feel like he could have done something more to protect Ukraine than what he did in the beginning. The reason why I could say that is because since he was the president during the escalation, it's a lot easier to stop something before it's worse. When you have a leak in your house, you stop the leak while it's small because it's easy to replace, not when the whole entire house is going to fall apart because of the small leak. So what I'm trying to say is that oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so then why didn't Trump do anything to convince Putin to not escalate further while he was still president, or encourage Putin to tell the separatist movement to back the fuck out?
I'm not aware of any conversation that he has or hasn't had about that.
Because he didn't. We know this. The only thing he said is that Putin wouldn't have invaded if I was president. Right? That's literally all he did. He didn't call him and be like, hey, Can you tell the separatist movement to stop, to back up, to stop doing what they're doing? Can you tell them to just cut it out? He didn't do it. All he does is now brag about currently how I gave them javelins, Obama gave them blankets.
Okay. Yeah. So either way about the assertion of Donald Trump, what I'm trying to still make my point about is that, like, if you look at Donald Trump, like what he said is specifically actually talking about the war with Ukraine. He said he would have bombed Putin if he was present during the escalation that occurred in
Oh,
2021.
when
Now,
did
the
when
reason
did
Whoa,
Trump?
whoa,
No,
whoa,
no, no,
whoa,
no,
whoa.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tell
You
me
gotta
when
stop
Trump
there. When
said
did he
he
say
was gonna
that?
bomb them. Tell me when Trump said he was going to bomb them.
he said it during his rallies. Have you guys never seen his
No,
presidential
you didn't.
rallies?
I unfortunately listened to him very often and even read the transcripts afterwards. He has never said that he would have bombed Russia.
He said, "I might." That was his direct quote. There's plenty of videos. I'm surprised you guys haven't seen that.
He said he might. Okay, Donald Trump says he might do a whole bunch of stuff, sir.
Exactly. That's my whole point. It's like Donald Trump will say a lot of BS, and the whole thing is you're trying to
So
figure out
you
if
know
he's
it's
serious or if
BS,
he's
and you're
not.
trying to claim it as a point. He knows it's BS, and still is trying to claim it as a point. That's wild.
Yeah, the reason why I say it's BS is because you look at what Trump did with Maduro. Trump and both of them will sit there and talk crap about each other, but then Trump actually went ahead and did something about it. And that's what I'm saying is
Donald
that the
Trump
message that
could
gets
do
sent like that.
exactly
Oh, go
what
ahead.
you're saying today, yesterday, tomorrow. He could do it at any point in time. Donald Trump could escalate this situation with a military invasion of Ukraine, of Russia at any point in time. He could shoot missiles into Russia. He could do any of those things at any point in time right now, but he is not doing it. Okay, so your whole, oh, he said at a rally a year and a half ago that he might do it. Well, maybe he did. Okay, maybe he said he might do it. You know what? He chose not to do it. Okay, which means that he has done nothing but spread Russian propaganda and escalate the civilian casualties in Ukraine.
So what Russian propaganda is he spreading? Could you please clarify that?
Yeah, Nazification of Ukraine in the Donbass region when that's been disproven by many independent studies for a long time. For example, they love to say, look at the military uniform of Ukraine at that time, and it looked just like the uniform of the Yahtzees. And I hate to break it to you, so does two branches of our military when we looked at them side by side with the Ukraine one. So I guess that two branches of our United States Armed Forces are also Nazis according to Russia's propaganda. Also, that Crimea is historically or ethnically Russian, which is factually untrue. Russia only owned it since 1789. Before then, it was owned by the Greeks, and then it was owned by the Italians as well. But it wasn't historically Russian for a long time, right? And actually, 1789 wasn't even the first time that Ukraine was. The Crimea, my bad, was owned by Russia, or the fact that Ukraine is ethnically Russian as well, when again, like Ukraine declared independence for the very first time in 1918. How much further would you like me to go? Oh, wait, actually, hold on.
No,
I know this one here, my favorite one. Zelensky is a dictator because they didn't hold elections, right, in 2024, when it's would have been literally a dictator move for him to say, let's run an election, because it would have been violating Ukraine's constitution.
Okay, so if he would have ran, it would have been a dictator because the Constitution says, I guess, I'm going to assume that during wartime you can't hold an election.
Correct. Their constitution explicitly states that when they are in a time of war, they cannot hold general elections. And if he had said, let's run an election, yes, that would have been a dictator move, violating their
Okay.
constitution.
Okay. Well, so what was the original claim on this again?
Well, let's see.
The original claim was that Joe Biden is, or that Donald Trump is spreading Russian propaganda and literally capitulating to everything that that Trump said. You asked the question, what Russian propaganda is he spreading? And then she told you.
Yeah.
And that's not
I
even
mean,
all of
I
it.
could. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. Like, go ahead, address it. I was saying there's so much more, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I feel like I mean, I could take that as propaganda, but the way that whoever I don't know who the other guy on the call is was kind of explaining it. To me, it seemed. I mean, obviously, I could see because Donald Trump will say a lot of stuff without necessarily understanding what exactly that means. So, I mean, if you want to take the sense that that's Russian propaganda, I would go ahead and accept that. But going back to the point about the invasion of Ukraine, I'd like to just ask a hypothetical for both of you. Hypothetically speaking, let's say if Joe Biden was aware of the tensions, obviously within Ukraine and Russia, because I remember for days before the actual, I guess, escalation, according to the gentleman, because my definition, I would call that like the full-on war, especially when you have like troops on the border of your country and then they come into it. To me, that's like a full-on war. So days leading up to that, I can remember on the news where like 3 days beforehand, they would see Russian troops all over the border, like basically just massing the amount of troops all around it. So my question is so hypothetically speaking, if Joe Biden would have said, okay, see what's going on, I'm going to just basically say that Ukraine's going to host, let's say, NATO ally like war games, right? Because if there's NATO troops within Ukraine for hosting war games, hypothetically speaking, then Russia really can't invade because if the NATO soldiers are there and they get attacked by Russia, that would be an escalation, would that not be?
Incorrect. That would not fall under the Article 5 of the NATO treaty. If we sent
Well,
what
not
we
Article 5, because Article 5 is attack on one, is attack on all. But I could easily see if you have troops that are practicing from different countries being hosted into Ukraine, and then Russia proceeds to attack all of those troops, what would that be then?
Yeah. Yeah. What I was saying, sir, okay, is if we sent troops into a country that's at war with another country in the middle of an escalation, then no other NATO country has the need to defend us.
Wait, so no other NATO countries would have the need for what?
No of those other NATO countries have a necessity under the NATO charter to defend us if we sent troops to Ukraine and then Russian troops attacked Ukraine with our troops there. They have no necessity
Okay, so
to.
yeah,
So he's not attacking NATO.
misunderstanding
He would just be
hypothetical.
attacking the troops there. And on top of that, okay, yeah, there's a possibility that de-escalates the situation. Possibly. There's also a possibility that escalates us into World War III. Okay. And when you're the president, you have to freaking kind of weigh those. You have the ability to either go, hey, we could risk going into World War III, okay, over this, or we could support Ukraine because that was our job. That's what we're saying. Because again, like, let's be very clear. It is not the United States' job to decide, okay, whether Russia attacks Ukraine or Ukraine attacks Russia or any other country attacks any other country. The point of the job of the United States and the United States president, okay, is to protect the United States. Okay, and the United States was not vulnerable due to Russia attacking Ukraine. That did not in any way put us in a more vulnerable situation. So he had the choice between either supporting Ukraine in their war, a war that no one thought was going to take longer than 3 weeks for Russia to take over, at no risk to U.S. troops, at no risk to U.S. lives, at no risk to any of those things. Or he had the possibility of sending troops there with the possibility of that escalating into World War III. And if you want to ask me personally, I think he made the right decision. Okay, I don't think that it was a good idea. That would have been a good idea for us to send troops in to Ukraine at the possibility of freaking starting World War III. Okay, I don't think that it was worth it.
Okay, so if I could have a break, so I could talk a little bit?
Yeah, it was 1 second. I'm almost finished. Anyways, what I was
Okay,
saying
go
was
ahead.
I don't believe that was actually a good idea for him to do that. But whether it would have done one way or would have done the other way, we don't know. Okay. What I do know is, again, if your entire stance is that it was weak of Joe Biden not to send the full force of the U.S. military to attack Russia over them going into Ukraine, okay, fine. If that's your stance, then whatever, man. I'm not gonna friggin' argue with you. Like, I don't agree with you, but whatever. But it does not change the fact that does not make Biden weaker on the situation than Trump, because again, Trump also didn't do the exact same thing, and he could have.
Okay. Am I good to go ahead?
Yes, I'm not talking.
Okay, no, I'm just trying to make sure because I want to make sure you could get your full explanation out there. Okay, yeah. So the stance wasn't that the U.S. should send all the forces all the way over there. That was not my stance. My stance was that because NATO will hold a lot of practicing in games within different countries. Usually, with almost all the time, it's NATO countries that will hold, whether it's a war drill or a war game. The idea was that if Ukraine would be a host nation, to have NATO at least come into the country and just be a sponsor to have the war games, and you have the presence of NATO troops already there, because at this point there was not a full invasion by Russia into Ukraine. There's not like large amounts of Ukrainian or Russian soldiers in Ukraine at this time. That's what I was saying is if they're able to have the NATO hypothetically speaking, those NATO troops within Ukraine as participating in a war game, that tells Russia that they're going to try to go ahead and invade when you have basically NATO troops there that are already basically there for war games, then that it would, at least in my opinion, make them think twice about invading, because if you kill any other soldiers that are just there participating in the NATO exercise, to me that's a massive escalation on Russia's
Can I
part,
ask you a
because now
quick
you're
question?
basically
I
killing
really
NATO
don't want to
troops,
cut you
right?
off, but I just
And
have a
then,
clarifying question for you, just truthfully, before we get too far into
yeah,
this
go ahead.
hypothetical. Truthfully, how many instances do you know of NATO countries doing war games in non-NATO countries?
Like off the top of my head, I probably couldn't tell you one. That's why I said that
Because it
most
doesn't
of the time
happen because
they're
NATO doesn't
generally
play
NATO
war
countries.
games in non-NATO countries, and that's what your hypothetical is. Your hypothetical
Well, they do all
all
they
of
do all the
these
time
NATO
in South
countries
America. The U.S.
together.
military trains with South American troops all the time,
The
and they're
U.S.
not part of
military
NATO.
does. NATO doesn't. The U.S. trains with non-NATO U.S. allies. Okay, but you're not making the claim for U.S. troops. You're making the claim for NATO troops, NATO war
Yes,
games.
yes.
That's
And that's why
only
I say the
done with
hypothetical is because what you're
no.
doing is if you're
It's a
allowing
it's
NATO to make
it's
a special
it's an
circumstance because Ukraine can't
illogical
join NATO.
hypothetical, which is why he cut you off, because it's something that's never happened throughout the history of NATO. Right? NATO is now 80 years old. Right? It's not happened. They have shown no intentions of letting it occur, where they've even talked about performing war games within non-NATO countries. Cool, your hypothetical. We already know that it's not true that when we have troops out that in foreign countries, like when we recently had troops killed in was it Siberia, Libya, Syria, thank you. I was all too many S's. So yeah, Syria, my bad.
Samsonite. I was way off.
Samsonite, yeah. Syria, and guess what? NATO didn't activate when those troops were killed, when they were stationed there by United States military. Your hypothetical, already proven wrong. Stop. Let's talk
it's not
real
because that
shit.
was just U.S. troops. I would say NATO troops, which would incur that any country that's part of NATO, for whatever the
Is the
NATO
United
games would
States
have
not
been.
part of NATO
The
now?
hypothetical behind. Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, for real, is the United States not a part of NATO now? Or are you
Well, I
saying
never
that it
made
needs
that
to be
claim. What are you
more
talking
than
about?
one country?
No, it's the same stance that the U.S. will do military exercises or military actions that NATO does not support. For example, Venezuela. In fact, England and other countries directly said they
All right,
had
we're
no
talking
part
in
in the
circles
U.S.
now. We're talking in
escalation
circles.
in
We're
Venezuela.
talking
That
in
was a
circles.
military
No, we're
conflict.
talking
That
in
doesn't
circles.
necessarily mean that NATO's involved. I don't know what you're understanding.
Hey, we're talking in circles, okay? Because first, you said about putting in troops there. I made a counter argument towards U.S. troops being there. Then you made the counter argument that you weren't talking about NATO, U.S. troops. You were talking about NATO troops, to which she counteracted that. And now you're back off of NATO troops back to U.S. troops. You're just talking in circles.
Well, I'm not trying to. The hard part was one. I got to talk to
You're
two
just
of you. Two
talking
of you
in
guys
circles.
think kind of differently. But I would say
No, it's
NATO
not
troops, and all
anything
of a
about
sudden
that,
you
sir.
start
It
saying
is
about
literally
she brought up U.S. troops in Syria. I didn't bring that up. She brought that up.
Sir, again,
You
you're
are-
strawmanning the argument. He's strawmanning the argument again. Okay, I don't know if this is some like weird debate bro thing where you like get like to get off on this type of thing, but this is really like a pointless argument. So I am going to bring it back one more time. Okay, I'm going to bring it back one more time to the main point of this conversation, which again, I have asked you at least a half a dozen times, and you have yet to provide a singular piece of evidence or a singular even notion of what he was, of anything besides, I think he said something at a rally 2 years ago. How is Trump stronger than Biden on Ukraine?
So if I have to answer the question just with those like single parameters, I'd probably say like right now, I honestly I can't see how he would be any different, because now I think Trump just doesn't. He just wants the war to stop, as I mentioned earlier.
That was literally my entire point
it's
this
a
entire
two-sided.
time. That was literally my
It's a
entire
what?
point this entire time. My entire point that I have been arguing against you this entire time is exactly what you just said. Like literally, I don't know why we just had the last however many minutes of conversation, 20 minutes of conversation, when literally you said the entire point when you came up was that Donald Trump is stronger than Joe Biden. I said he is no different. And now we've been arguing for over 20 minutes for you to just say exactly what I said 30 seconds into this conversation. What in the hell have we been doing here, dude? Did you just come up here and just say, I'm just going to argue and I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about? So I'm just going to fucking argue about not a goddamn fucking thing and waste everybody's fucking time?
No, I'm trying to understand from you guys, understanding of the politics. That's why I called in, as I'm trying to curious to understand your guys' thought process. So I'm trying to learn.
See,
I,
what
I
we
stated
wanted
earlier,
to know is
I'm
why
trying
you
to
were
understand
still
how you guys
supporting
are,
Trump, and
but
we've
the
gone down
question,
this 28-minute diatribe of you going in circles and avoiding the point the entire time. And especially if you've now acknowledged that Donald Trump is not any different than Joe Biden when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, calm down, my dude. Like, I don't.
well, no,
I'm trying
I
to say
would,
that
okay, so
nicely.
I'm trying to have a dialogue. I'm not trying to have a debate. I don't know why you guys want to debate me.
This
I'm here to
isn't a
try to
debate.
understand
We're
from you
not
guys your
debating
point of
you.
view, but it's hard to do that.
You haven't made any points that make any sense. You have straw man, you've taken out of context everything that we've said, you've turned it into a smaller argument that we didn't even say, nor did we even make. And then you are continuing, like, you're basically just arguing with yourself because you're making up points in your head, except they're not staying in your head, they're coming out your mouth on this phone call.
Yeah, as I stated, I'm not here to debate. I'm trying to understand your guys' thinking. So when I'm trying to think too, I'm trying to kind of understand, okay, so what are you guys thinking? What's your guys'
that
position
sounds
on
great,
this?
man.
And so I'm
That
trying
sounds
to
totally
explain
great.
that out. So
I
that's
think
what I'm saying. My conclusion seems to
perfect,
be a little
sir.
bit different
Sounds
now.
great, sir. I think we have both made our points very, very clear. And again, our entire point the entire time was that Trump is no different, which was the entire point that we've been making for 28 fucking minutes. Okay, that we have made for 28 minutes is that Donald Trump is no better or worse for Ukraine. Well, he's actually worse, but he's definitely not any stronger on Ukraine than or on Russia than Biden was, which was the entire point in the conversation. But since this conversation has now gotten to the point where it is completely digressed into a whole big bag of fucking nothingness, I'm going to move on to the next caller. So I hope you have a wonderful day, all right?
Yeah, I hope you do too.
All right, cool. Jesus Christ, dude.
That was okay. I was done about 8 minutes ago because he was already circling, and I don't. This isn't even the question that we wanted to answer when we were trying to figure out why you still support Trump. Like, cool. You want to bring up Russia, Ukraine?
Yeah. Please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications if you haven't already. We really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you guys would like to support the live videos, super chats, super stickers, all that fun stuff, pay links in the bio, all the gift goals and stuff going on TikToks, we really, really appreciate you. Story man, thank you so much for the party hat. Really appreciate that. Don, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said release the Epstein files already. What the hell? W's the chat for Don for that one. Hell yeah. Rob, thank you so much for the floating heart. Real Patriot with the 5 gifted over on Ari's platform. Really appreciate that. Didn't get to see who got those, but make sure you guys throw an extra W out there if you're one of those people that got one of those memberships. And Don again for the $2 said, "Take it easy, Ari. Polly got a lot of misdirected." Yeah, there was we just started going down these I don't know. That was freaking wild, man.
Yeah, and also thank you, Kat, over in TikTok for all the gifts. Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much, Kat. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello, is this the show that I'm looking at on YouTube?
I would assume so if you're calling in on the phone number that's listed on that show. Yeah.
Good, then. Because sometimes these numbers don't work, or that kind of strange.
Yeah, I guess they do that sometimes.
I just had a really quick something to say. You asked, why do you support Trump? Or is the question more streamlined than that?
Yeah, do you still support Trump, sir?
I mean, I didn't vote. I don't support him. I just know that, as far as the type of person that I am, how I like to be in America, he kind of has my ideals, more in
your ideals of being a sexual assaulter or a felon or torturing people, putting people to concentration camps,
I don't know.
committing
adultery,
I really don't go
robbing children, and stuff like that.
Sexualizing
10-year-olds,
sexualizing your daughter.
I really don't care about what people do in their bedrooms and all that
Donald
stuff.
Trump does.
That don't really got nothing to do with me.
I'm so sorry. I hate to tell you this, sir. You
I
said
stay away
you
from
don't
people's
care
bedrooms.
about what people
I
do
keep their
in their
bedrooms away from
bedrooms.
me.
Donald Trump cares very much so about what people do in their bedrooms.
I also very much care about what people do in their bedrooms if it's not with consenting adults.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
But he
if
doesn't
you're
care
2
about
consenting
consent.
adults or 3 consenting adults or 5 consenting adults, really couldn't give a shit. But we're not talking about consenting adults. We're either talking about people who aren't adults or people who aren't consenting. Or both.
Well, but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to ask the question because, if you want to say that, then everybody that was ever in the White House, every president, every person that was involved in Hollywood, y'all, you sit here and watch movies. You pay admissions to go to, you know, movies and buy DVDs of people who have done it and have been proven to have done it like their whole life.
Yeah, sure.
Like
so was
fucking,
Kamala Harris proven of doing
messing
that?
with children. So
Yeah,
I stay away
so was
from
Kamala
all
Harris
of that. I
proven of
stay
that,
away
sir?
from Hollywood.
Hey, sir.
I kind of stay away
Sir.
from, huh?
Sir, Kamala Harris, was she proven of doing that?
I don't pay attention to her. I never paid attention to her.
Well,
She's not one
sir,
of my
what I'm
people.
saying is you're not making the claim, okay, that Donald Trump is good at being a good president. I want to be very clear what your claim is, and your claim is
I was trying
he's
to
the
tell
type
you what
of
it was,
guy
but
that
you
matches
interrupted me
who
and tried to
I am.
accuse me of like supporting
Sir,
somebody who does something
You don't know
to
what I'm
children.
accusing you of, sir.
I
You
was
have to be
saying the
quiet
reason
long
why
enough for me to, sir, you have to be quiet long enough for me to say what I'm accusing you of before
Yeah,
you
but
can
you
defend
interrupted
it.
me first. When I was telling you why I don't support him, but when I was
No,
telling
sir.
you why
You said
I
why you
kind of
support
rock
him. You
with
said
Trump,
it's
you
because he's the
interrupted me.
type of guy that matches your type of person. Like you two are very similar in
And
the
I
type
didn't
of
get a
people
chance to
that you
tell
are.
you
And
what
I
type
was
of person I
questioning,
am
sir.
because you
I
interrupted
was
me.
questioning, sir, if
Sir,
Donald
you
Trump is the type
interrupted
of person
me.
that's like you. I really question whether you should be on a list or not.
You shouldn't question anything that I can get a chance to say that you didn't even hear the whole matter. You didn't
Sir,
hear the
because if
whole
I
matter. You
listened to
just
your whole
opened your
life
mouth.
story, we'd be here until tomorrow. But I'm not concerned with your whole
No,
life
it
story.
wasn't because
Nor
I
do I
wasn't
give a
telling a long
shit,
story. I
to
was
be
just telling
completely
you
honest
what
with
type
you.
of person I was as far as like I don't like to be around. I don't feel like we should pay taxes. I don't feel like people that should come up here from other countries and buy up homes when in the hood people are trying to really like get their lives together and then somebody comes up that has nothing to do with this neighborhood and you
Yeah.
have to go through a company to get somewhere to live. Or, you know, I really don't care
Guys,
too much
all those
about like
super
foreign
poor
affairs.
farmer
And I really don't
undocumented
think that
immigrants
Trump would
buying
have ever
all the
got into
homes,
the business
guys.
when they were having that
All
summit
the
down in
homes.
All the
2018 on the
homes.
Baltic
Without
Sea
credit.
when they were talking about the
He doesn't
Ukraine war
even
before
know
it
how an
happened.
immigrant gets
United
credit
States was
here. I
throwing around a
guarantee it.
lot of
Sir,
words,
can I ask you a question?
thug, and
Sir,
calling
sir.
certain leaders of
Shh.
certain leaders of certain companies. I mean, certain leaders of certain countries. They were calling them names and stuff like that, and really
Oh,
like
we're
you
not
know
calling
saying that
someone
United
names. That's
States
horrible.
has this power and that power.
Not calling
So I don't
someone
really think
names.
Trump would have ever got involved with sending money to those people. I don't think he would ever sent $40 billion
Sir, I'm
and
about
all
to
of
hang
that
up on
to
the
try
phone
to
with
get
you if you're
involved.
not quiet in the next 3 seconds.
What?
Quiet.
You're
Jesus
interrupting
fucking
me.
Christ. Yes, I am. Again, I
It's
don't need your
our
whole life story.
show.
I have a question for you. I need it answered. Okay? How do poor undocumented immigrant farmers that are working for less than minimum wage in the United States buy homes with no credit?
Because they come from other places, and then when they go to the Jobs and Family Service, this things I've seen with my own eyes. When they go to Jobs and Family Service, they get preferential treatment, better treatment than the people who actually are from here, and they have
Wow.
My
children, and they
eyes.
get
They
like
go
almost
to a
$2,000
government
per month.
agency, and the
No
government
person,
agency
no
gives them
person with
gives them
two
an
children
800 credit
needs
score.
$2,000 a month for
That's the
Yeah.
food.
person they do.
They should be getting like $300 a month.
All right,
They can
sir.
get $250 a month.
Oh
so
my
what
God,
happens
200
is then they
$250
save
a
up their
month,
money.
sir.
They
Right.
work together. They
Sir.
save up their money, and then they go
Uh-huh.
and they go to a bank. See, the banks were made to say no to black people. Because that's what they have done. If you know anything about history, you will see that when black
you're
people go
not
to banks, we
wrong,
don't get
but
the
you're
same
also
treatment
just
as people who
wrong.
come from the other people, other
He would
countries.
actually make like a
What?
certain point if he'd ever learned to just be quiet.
I know.
Like,
I'm
it's
answering
just
your
sad.
question.
It's actually
He
I'm
ruins
telling you what I
every
see
single
with my
one
own
of his
eyes, and I've
points.
done it in many
Sir,
other states. What are
he
you
ruins
talking
every
about?
single one of his points by just not breathing.
Yeah, because he just keeps talking. Like, you make a good point that the banking system originally was extremely racist towards black people. There is literally no denying that. That is history. It was also extremely sexist
No, it's not
towards
just
women.
history. It's
That
actually
is
present as well.
history. It is also facts. Like, we're not denying that. But the fact that you believe
Okay, so that's the
that
answer to your question. Why do undocumented
Stop.
people come here and do?
Be
Stop.
quiet,
Yeah.
dude.
Stop.
We are
Yeah,
here to
yeah,
have
that's the answer to
conversation
your
with
question.
people, and if you can't
Sir.
be quiet and act like an adult, I'll just move on to an adult.
I am acting adult. I'm acting like you.
All right,
I'm
bye.
I'm acting like you.
Toodles.
All right, cool. I gave him too many warnings. What we were trying to say is he actually makes a good point, but you know what else the banks are very, very non-preferential towards? Fucking poor people. People with no fucking income, okay? People without credit scores. I feel like people like that just like have never actually attempted to buy a house ever in their entire life. All right? Like if you've never bought a house, I feel like that dude like it just like he imagined what it'd like to like buy a house and he thinks that he's just like, "Oh, all of these migrants, these poor migrants who again don't have the ability to work legally in a lot of states." right? So therefore can't even make a livable wage, right? Are somehow going to family services, which they can't get benefits from, which is another point I was trying to make, but he wouldn't be quiet, because you can't get money from the government if you're not here legally, right? And then takes all that money that they apparently aren't getting with their underlivable wage, putting it all together, going to a bank, and the bank is like, well,
Take
you
it.
with no money and no credit, here's a brand new house, $500,000 house. Here you go.
You would think they would have learned from the 2008 housing crash that was what caused it, was banks giving out loans and mortgages to people that couldn't pay them back. And
Yeah.
they knew it.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, he made some points we could have had conversations about. It's a shame that he just wanted to go off on his little on his little grandstand there. Wiz, thank you so much for the New Year's Eve. We really appreciate that. Don, thank you so much for the $2. Said release the Epstein files. PGG, thank you so much for the New Year's Eve. Shelf, thank you so much for the floating heart. Y'all, if you guys are able to give super chats or gifting or anything like that on YouTube or on TikTok, just remember it does help to protect the lives, and it does really boost the numbers when they see people gifting and all that sort of stuff. It does help the numbers really go up and helps us to get better conversations and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
if you can, we really, really appreciate it. Of course, if you can't, please don't stress yourself out
And
over it. We
especially
really
on
appreciate
TikTok.
that. But more importantly, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
And especially on TikTok, double tapping the screen, you guys are way behind on the likes.
Don, thank you so much for the $2. Said, dear Lord, help people with this colors mentality. Yeah, absolutely. Eddie, thank you so much for the $5. Says 50 years in politics and Biden isn't in the Epstein files. Neither is Kamala, but both sides are. Am I right? Yeah, exactly. Like for some reason it's like, oh, everybody's in there. But then as soon as you start naming anybody that was running against Trump, then nobody's in there. It's crazy. Eddie, thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for everybody who supported. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I would like, I am a truck driver.
You're a Trump driver?
And I'm a truck driver, and I watch your guys live.
I thought he literally said Trump driver. That's what I thought he said.
No, truck. I'm a truck.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a semi-truck driver.
Okay.
And I listen to your program sometimes and watch your program sometimes.
I'm glad to hear that.
I travel all over the United States. Oh, first of all, I'm from Florida. I live in Florida for about 10 years. Then I moved to Georgia for 2 years.
Call in because they're like Democrats.
Oh, shoot.
Oops.
Dude, I'm sorry if you're out there. I literally was trying to hang up the other caller and I accidentally answered it.
Answered it instead.
I'm sorry, dude. We love our truckers. My dad was a lifetime trucker. Stay safe on the road. We'll talk to you another time. I really, really apologize. That was not on purpose. Hello, how are you? Person on the phone.
The one who just said they're
Hey.
Democrats in the background when we were picking up the phone.
Yeah, the one that was yelling at his sister wife. What's up?
Hey, bro.
Are you okay?
Bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. You never been on a phone before?
No, it's my first time.
How old are you?
Oh, 27.
What year were you born?
Crap, bro, you got me on that one.
Yeah, bye.
I do give him props for at least trying to say 27 to at least try to trick us for a second, but he didn't sound a day over like 16 years old.
And you know what's just sad is like I wish they would just learn how to do quick math.
Quick math. I tell you, Common Core ruined us. All right. Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, man. Do you?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, why not, man?
I have a conscience and morality and
Well,
humanity.
did you support Biden?
Did I support Biden? I mean, I didn't vote for him, but I voted for him, but he wasn't exactly my favorite pick.
Yeah, so you kind of in the middle where you don't really support Trump. Or
No.
You're not really leaning towards Biden as well either, right?
Biden was way too right wing for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I mean, look, man, I'm from Louisiana. I don't know if you're from Colorado. I saw your number when I was dialing it. I know Colorado is kind of leaning pretty far
we
left.
live
Like,
in Florida, man. We're not in Colorado, so you can.
Bruh. Colorado has been
wait, what
purple
was that?
since 2008. Just well, actually, they've been pretty blue.
Not
since
that it matters because
2008,
we're not
but
in Colorado. We're in Florida, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, Florida leans pretty red. So, yeah. I mean, look, man, I support Trump. I don't support every single thing he does. I've been watching your show for a while, and I was like, shit, let me just call in and maybe get some better perspective about what do you guys actually support, you know? Because, I mean, there seems to be so much criticism. Like, I was listening to the Ukraine rhetoric earlier with that caller, you know, and like, what would Trump do or this and that? Like, yeah, he's trying to avoid World War III. You know, he's not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We never had a president ever that was perfect. But, I mean, what is it so bad about Trump that y'all dislike is mainly my question.
Yeah, again, he's a bad president and he's bad morally. He's not doing anything good for the country right now. He's freaking sending our economy in the negative direction. All right. He's not doing anything good for us on a foreign policy standpoint. Like, what is he doing that's actually helpful to us?
I mean, look, man. I mean, we could go back and forth and argue statistics between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, you know.
Yeah, we
And
should.
to be honest
Biden's
with
are
you,
way
every
better.
president since Bill Clinton has totally wrecked our economy. I mean, can you agree on that?
Do.
Huh?
no, Joe Biden did not wreck our economy.
How did Joe
sir.
Biden wreck our economy?
Dude, just pull up the statistics of what was happening under Joe Biden. I remember
Sir,
like
I
the
didn't ask
$1
you
trillion
what was happening
coin
under Joe
idea and
Biden.
all this other
Sir,
stuff
I
that
asked
they
you
were
how did Joe Biden.
proposing.
Sir, I didn't ask you what happened under Joe Biden. I asked you what did Joe Biden do to wreck our economy?
What did he do to fix it?
He freaking did things like the Inflation Reduction Act, the Chips and Sciences Act, that got us to a record low unemployment rate. He got our inflation rate down to below 3% by the time it was done. We had record stock market numbers the last 2 years. He dropped our gas prices significantly after the OPEC Plus deal, starting in 2023. By the time we got to 2024, we were under $3 in gas. He created 16 million jobs, including tons of jobs in the manufacturing industry. I mean, he did a whole bunch to fix it.
Okay. Well, I'm just telling you this, dude, as a white collar worker, my financials are way better right now than they were under Joe Biden.
How?
You can take that for whatever it's worth.
Not
What do you mean
much,
how?
sir, unless
I
you
mean,
can tell me how
there's
Donald
more
Trump does it.
money in my pocket every single week
How?
from this administration to the next. There's gas prices that are lower. Inflation's starting to come down. I'm not sitting here saying Trump is like the bee's knees compared to Joe Biden under this their two administrations between inflation. Okay? They both suck.
Can you
Okay,
do
the
me a
price of milk's
favor?
still $4 or $5 a gallon. What needs to happen is everyone needs to work together to figure out the problems. I mean, we all talk about Ukraine and Maduro and everybody else. Why don't we talk about the problems actually happening in the United States and work on fixing that first?
Sir, I would
That's
love
what
to
I
talk about the
support.
things that are happening in the United States. Donald Trump isn't talking about the things that are happening in the United States. Donald Trump is solely, completely, and utterly concerned with what is going on overseas. Okay, inflation is not coming down. Okay, the inflation rate has slightly slowed and very slightly, but that just means that costs are rising at a slower rate. Things are more expensive right now than when Donald Trump took office. Actually, over the entirety of the 2025 up until October,
Are gas prices cheaper?
Sir, I was literally trying to talk about gas prices. Can you please let me finish my sentence?
Yeah.
Thank
Sure.
you. In 2025, literally, it took until October for gas prices to go down for the entire year. All the way through October, gas prices were literally higher under the Trump administration than they were under the Biden administration. The only reason they're down now is because gas prices go down every single winter, and they'll go back up in the spring. Okay, that's nothing that Donald Trump did. Donald Trump didn't create more oil or make gas prices go down. Okay, gas prices are just going down for the winter like they always do. If everything is more expensive, inflation is still, things are still rising in price. We've lost 1 million jobs just last year. The unemployment rate is at 4.4%, which is like the highest it's been since we had to shut down for the pandemic. Then how the heck is Trump putting
I'll
more
give
money
you
in your
that,
pocket?
but how does that fall solely on Trump.
Easy.
That issue stems from most of the states as well.
Incorrect.
Unemployment doesn't just directly fall towards Joe Biden or Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Not directly all the time, but you saw the policies. You saw the investments in infrastructure. You saw the investment in chip manufacturing. You saw all of those things that were helping to build more jobs. We had stability within the market, okay? And that's
Yeah.
what was helping us to
Yeah.
freaking build jobs. That's why we were seeing record after record after record after record of job creation numbers in the United States under the Biden administration. And then as soon as Trump comes in, all of those numbers start tanking. In July, we had the first negative job creation numbers that we had since we shut down for the pandemic. These are things that are directly
Okay.
linked to Donald Trump's tariff policy. This isn't things that like, yes, we have like, oh, things happen this way, things happen that way. This was directly linked to Donald Trump's tariff policy, like directly linked to it. So when you say, oh, I have more money in your pocket, well, congratulations, sir. No one else in the United States does. Like the median household income is stagnating. Prices are higher. People are spending more on their necessities. He's done nothing to address the housing market. Okay, at all. Kamala Harris had an in-depth plan on how she was going to address the housing market, which literally would have put money into Americans' pockets. But instead, Donald Trump not only didn't address it, he was just asked about what he was going to do for the housing market, and he said he was more concerned with rich people keeping the value on their house than people being able to buy houses. When he was asked how he was going to make groceries more affordable,
She had 4 years
no,
to do
no,
all
sir,
that.
she did
did
not.
nothing.
But stop. When he was asked how he was going to fix the prices of things, he said affordability is a Democrat hoax. That's what he said, okay? That's what Donald Trump just recently said. So I don't know where you're getting all this extra money from. Maybe you got a raise in your job, or maybe you started saving better, or something like that. And I'm really, really happy for you that happened.
Well, it's just
Okay?
capitalism at that point. But
no
I'm
one
saying,
else in the United
like,
States
look
is doing
at
better
this
under
historic tax season coming around. People are going to get no tax on tips, no
No, they're
tax on
not.
overtime.
No, they're not.
And yeah, it's not the full
That's not
overtime,
true.
but it's a certain percentage of your overtime that you're going to be getting back. There's going to be a lot more money flowing around, and those types of things I do support. I'm not saying I support
That is a
everything he
Bernie
does,
Sanders
but
policy
a lot
that
of the things
Kamala
I do
Harris
support.
actually also had, and Kamala Harris's was more expansive, where you would have gotten more of your overtime back and more of your tips back.
Was that the one that she came out with right after he proposed the no tax on
Nope, it's
overtime?
the same one that Donald Trump stole from Bernie Sanders, because that was his policy.
Well, I'm sure Bernie Sanders came out with that years ago, and
Yeah,
we're
but
just saying
what I'm saying is, sir,
we could
you
just
don't
go
get to
back
say
and forth
Kamala
and say
Harris.
who stole it. I'm just glad the idea
You brought
actually
it
came
up.
to fruition.
You brought up
because it's
her
going to help a lot
stealing
of families.
You brought up her stealing it. It's just
Yeah,
funny to me. It's funny
yeah,
to me that you're so
I
quick
did.
to say that Kamala Harris stole it. And then I was like, actually, Donald Trump stole it. And you're like, well, it doesn't really matter if they steal policies. Like, if Kamala Harris did it, then it's horrible. If Donald Trump did it, then it's just, politicians take policies. The fact of the matter is, she had a policy to do it that was more expansive than his. If you're saying that you support these things, then you should have supported Kamala Harris.
No, man, that makes absolutely no.
It
Just
does make
because she
sense.
had an idea that was similar to Donald Trump doesn't mean that I should
It wasn't
support
his
Kamala Harris.
idea, sir.
Give me
sir.
some of her achievements, man.
Sir,
Since you have
one
all these
second.
statistics
I got tons of
in
them.
front
but
of
go
you.
ahead.
But really quick.
What's
one
her
second.
achievements, man? Why should I have
Sir.
supported
Ari's
Kamala
talking.
Harris for
Hold
my
on.
vote as an American citizen?
Sir, what's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew. Okay. Matthew, let me ask you a question. All right?
Sure. Oh, sure.
Cool. What did Mike Pence do?
Mike Pence. Mike Pence was a loser.
Okay, what has JD Vance achieved in his first year?
JD Vance. I mean, I like a lot of I like the stuff Vance is doing on like the public relations side of things.
Oh,
I mean, I
so
don't.
he's
I'm
just
a white
talking?
collar worker
I
with
just wanted to
4
clear-
kids.
hold
I
on,
can't
hold on,
tell
hold
you
on.
exactly every
Michael.
little accomplishment this guy has done. So why don't you tell me?
No. So that's what I'm saying. He hasn't done anything. What is the job of a vice president?
The job of the vice president
Yes.
is to assist the president.
No. Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the job of the vice president is to be the tie-breaking vote in the Senate, aka the president of the Senate. The other job of the vice president is to be the heartbeat. So if anything happens to the president of the United
So
States, they
assist.
take over.
Yes.
No,
No.
what
I mean,
part of that is
I could say yes
assist? What
about the
part of that
Senate,
is
but yeah, he's there to
assist?
assist.
I'm sorry.
Sir, by me surviving, am I assisting you right now?
Wait, say that again.
By me surviving, am I assisting you right now?
In what context are you at? Like,
In that
what are you even
context,
talking
the
about?
fact that I am alive, sir, like assisting you right now.
Well, if me and you were tasked at running this country,
You're awesome.
you would be my top advisor if you were the
No.
vice president.
Actually, I have an entire. If I was the president, I would have a whole team of top advisors. Now, the vice president can
Exactly,
act
but
as
me
hold on,
and you
sir.
would be.
The vice president can act as an advisor. That is totally possible. Okay, but that is not the vice president's job. The vice president's job, as Ari was trying to tell you, is to survive, is to live, is to breathe. That is their entire job, okay? And Kamala Harris's job as vice president to Joe Biden is not to force a policy agenda the same way that J.D. Vance's job right now is not to force Donald Trump's policy agenda, nor has any vice president has that ever been their job, because that's not what the job of the vice president is. The number one craziest thing that Donald Trump convinced people of the United States on is that somehow Kamala Harris was somewhat in charge of the country when she was vice president, when the Constitution of the United States specifically and unequivocally says that she is not. But that was the number one thing, because he knew that he could not beat Kamala Harris on actual policy. He knew he couldn't beat Kamala Harris on actual agenda items. So he had to just convince you guys that that she was the same as Biden, and that way he could run off of Biden. And it's sad that you guys still repeat it.
No, I'm not repeating anything. You
You
brought
are.
it up, and you're the
No.
one asking me about Mike Pence, which we're so far from Mike Pence at this point. It's silly to even
Cool.
circle back.
Yeah,
But
sure.
if
I'm
you want to
sorry.
argue
So,
about
the reason why I brought,
accomplishments that he
sir.
couldn't go up against her, he did go up against her, and he beat her in the election. So I mean,
congratulations.
that's my argument
the
to
only
that
people
point.
that Donald Trump have ever beaten were women. Congratulations. That's what you're.
You know, Hitler also won an election.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Did he really?
that's
So
pretty
you
Yeah,
said
and
the
Hitler also had a dog. So like, if you have a dog, are you Hitler? Like, I mean,
So
you
you're
can't
the one
compare
making
that,
it,
man.
making it seem like for some reason, because you win an election, that's an accomplishment of some sort. It's just a popularity contest. It doesn't mean that you're better. It doesn't mean that you're more qualified.
No,
It
but
doesn't mean
you
that you have a
made the
better agenda.
argument. I'm just
No, sir, you
refuting
made the
it. You know,
argument,
I'm
sir. We're addressing your argument.
Yeah.
you brought
what
up
you
Mike
did,
Pence,
no,
and then
No,
you
sir.
brought
the
up
reason
Kamala
why,
Harris
I can
into
explain
this.
it. I can
So
explain it real quick. Because the reason why, right, is because you are the one who made a statement that Kamala Harris didn't do anything. So then I'm asking you about what former vice presidents did in their role as vice president, and you simply got offended afterwards, right? Because you've circled away from the point of like, how has Donald Trump actually helped you get anywhere? What policy specifically did he sign into law that put more money in your paycheck? I know you've already been asked this, but your answer was
He
none.
didn't address it. He
Yeah.
because there is
No,
none. Because he hasn't put money in anybody's
the no
pocket.
tax. I just did my taxes, and I got way more back in my pocket than I've ever gotten.
You're telling
So
me
there you
that
go.
your job is ahead of every other employee in the country, where they have until the 31st of January to issue you your W-2 or your 1099, and
do you-
you've already received your
Do
W-2
you have to
on
have your
January
W-2
11th,
to issue your tax refund?
2026.
No, you do not.
They
You have to
haven't-
have your W-2 to
They
file
haven't even
taxes.
they haven't even opened up tax, like you can't even freaking submit your tax return yet, can you? I don't think it even opens up till
No.
next
Yes, you
week. What are you
can.
talking
Not
about?
until
Like,
the
dude, y'all
14th,
need-
bro. What?
This is a joke, dude.
Nobody's gotten
This
their
is a
tax
joke,
return
man.
back yet.
No, I didn't get it back, but I got my. I know the numbers
you
I'm getting.
filed. So you're telling me
And-
you've already filed your full 1040.
How do you know I get a 1040 or a W-2? Like, you
Are
don't.
you?
What do you?
1040 is the filing form, you dolt. 1040
Oh,
is the
1099,
form that you
yes.
file.
Yes. So yes, I'm going to be getting more back than I've gotten under any previous administration. So to
Sure.
answer your question, yes, Donald Trump has signed something into law that is going to put more money back
Yeah,
into my
and
pocket.
guess what, sir? And you would have
Like,
gotten
we're
more
so
with Kamala
far off of
Harris.
the conversation. Look,
Congratulations.
I'm not.
That's how
I
we
don't
got to
hold
this part of this
any.
conversation anyway, sir, is that you would have gotten more under Kamala Harris's policy. Okay. But you're more concerned about you being complaining that she stole it, just like Donald Trump stole it, than
Well,
actually
how?
getting more money into your pocket. Hell, you could have voted for Bernie Sanders back in the day instead of, when we had Donald Trump in
Yes,
office for the
but the
first time.
problem
And
with
you,
that
you,
is
you would have
that
gotten
the
it for the
left
last
has
10
gone
years.
too
Yeah.
far left, man. I can't support the
Oh my
left right now. I
God.
Yeah,
mean,
the
look at what
horrid left with
look at what they're
our
doing
wanting
in
free healthcare
Minneapolis
and
and
children
all
not to
over the
starve.
country, man.
Hey, Mark, or I can't remember what your name is, honestly. Did you say Mark or
Yeah,
Michael?
my name's Matt. Go ahead.
Wait, your name is what? Mick?
No, Matt.
Matt. I was so far off. Well, I had the M correct. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
so
it's all good.
Matt, are you religious?
I sure am. Absolutely.
You are. Awesome. Christianity?
Yeah. I'm Catholic. You could say
Catholic. Oh, Catholic.
Like,
That's better too. What does the Pope say about what Donald Trump is doing in the United States of America right now when it comes to immigration?
the Pope.
Yes. The
Well,
Catholic
why don't
Pope.
you
You have heard
enlighten
of the
me?
Pope, right?
Huh?
You have
I'm
heard of the Pope,
Catholic
right?
/ Christian, so my kids go to Catholic school.
Sir, you
I'm
have
more
heard
of a
of the
Christian
Pope. You are
faith.
aware of the Pope existing, correct?
Am I aware of the Pope existing? What kind of dumb question is that?
Because your
Like,
response, she asked you
look,
about the Pope,
we
and you're
we can,
making it sound like you've never heard of the Pope, and I'm just curious if you you're the worst Catholic in the
no, but
world if
that's
you
the
haven't heard of
problem
the
with
Pope
you.
before.
That's
That's
why I
wild.
called into your show, man. Like you're very confrontational and you ask a
So
lot
this
of
isn't a matter of being
condescending
confrontational,
questions.
sir, and like truly, it's not. It's
Well,
just
have you heard of the Pope? Like, dude, who hasn't heard of the Pope,
I don't
man?
know,
I
sir. I
mean,
couldn't figure it
okay,
out.
let's
She just
let's
said
get back
she
let's
Okay,
get back to the
then
question.
Matt.
Okay,
she said
what has the
have you
Pope
heard
said
what the Pope
about the
said? And you
immigration
went, the
status
Pope?
under Donald
Like you had
Trump?
never heard of it. I was just trying to figure it out.
I mean, that's a legit
Okay,
question because he was like, I was confused. I'm like, wait, you've never heard of the Pope? You claim you're a Catholic, and you're like, the Pope?
well
You're
that's
questioning
what
him?
I'm saying.
Anyway,
That's
so
ridiculous.
yeah,
Like,
what
okay,
has
so
the
let's get
Pope
back to the
said?
question. Okay,
What has the Pope
I
said
don't know, so
about
please
Donald Trump
enlighten
and
me.
immigration? He said it's deplorable. Like the actions that this administration is doing to immigration is so far away from what Jesus wanted and what God preached about, Jesus preached about in the Bible. Sir, no. Like he's condemned the actions of Donald Trump and his administration.
Okay, I mean, I can kind of see where the
And
Pope
we'll
would
put it
stand
up
on
on
that.
screen
Sure,
for
No, this
everybody.
isn't actually this one. This
can
was
you
actually
not
the
can you
Pope
not see it
condemning
as
his actions
a
in Venezuela.
problem?
Oh,
All
he's
the
also
people that have
condemned
poured into this
Venezuela?
country over the years, and it all
Ooh.
seems to fall on Donald Trump that all this is his fault.
No one said that. We're saying the actions that he is taking, the mass deportations that he is purporting, that is against what was preached about. We're not doing it in a humane manner. What do you not understand about
Okay,
that?
what do you propose? What do you propose we do?
Sure. You do what the law says, give them time to submit a writ of habeas corpus to refute or argue against the fact that they are being deported, maybe not strip legal status of immigrants that he himself in his previous administration gave them legal status for, right? The Venezuelans the first time, he gave them temporary legal status, and then one of his first moves back in office this time was to strip away that legal status. Maybe not try to make legal documented immigrants illegal by his methods, immigrants just in order to deport them.
I think when it comes to the Christian thing, I think it's actually so much more nuanced than just the immigration thing, because the Bible's very, very clear on how we're supposed to treat immigrants. Like the Bible says specifically to treat immigrants like they're your own, treat them like yourself, right? He talks about that. But the Bible's just so unequivocally against everything that Donald Trump stands for. Like literally so just obnoxiously against everything. And it's crazy to me. Right.
I think I
When-
played a game once where I was going through what commandments Donald Trump has.
I did that literally
That's
yesterday.
what it was.
Yeah,
I
I
listened
did
to
it.
you
Yeah.
do it. That's what it was.
All the commandments that Donald Trump breaks on a weekly basis, right? But regardless of any of that, and I know we were
Well,
talking like economic.
The same can be said about all the politicians.
No, it's not.
man. I mean,
No,
you gotta
it's
pick the
not.
lesser
No, it's
evil
just simply
here, man.
fucking not.
Okay, so it's cool for Biden to fucking pardon his crackhead son who did all the stuff he did, you know? Like, what's
Sir,
the Bible
well,
say
sir,
about
what
that?
did he do,
Forgive
actually?
Forgive your son,
Sir,
forgive your brother.
what did
you know,
he do?
I mean,
What was Matt? What was
Which is-
Hunter Biden
convicted of.
convicted of?
Yeah, what did he do?
well, they had the gun charge that
Yeah,
I
what
guess
was
went
that gun
away.
charge?
There was a bunch, the laptop fiasco.
No, there was no
you
charge
know,
for a
it was
laptop.
just,
There was no charge for a laptop. There was 2.5 years
so
of
what
investigation
did
by
he
congressional
pardon his son
Republicans.
for?
Not a singular
What did
charge.
he pardon?
The gun charge, sir. And do you know what that gun
was the
charge
pardon
was?
for?
Huh? The
Why
gun
why
charge.
did he have to pardon his son then?
Because Donald Trump promised on his
Sir-
campaign trail that he was going to go after Biden if he was elected.
But I don't even want to go past it. Do you know what he was
Well, if he
convicted
did nothing
of, sir?
wrong, then there's no reason to
Sir,
pardon.
do you know what he was convicted of?
Who? Biden?
Hunter Biden.
Yes, there was a gun charge.
What was the gun charge?
I can't tell you the specific
I will tell you,
charge.
sir. Are
I
you?
just-
Are
I know
you?
there
Are,
was-
do you own weapons? Do you own a gun?
Yes, I
Do
do.
you know people that do?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Do you know anyone that owns a gun that also like smokes a little 420?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. That person could be convicted of 10 years in prison under the same law that Hunter Biden was convicted of. Do you think that your friend should go to jail for the next 10 years?
No, it's probably a stupid law, but it's also breaking.
Well, then
the
you should
law,
call you.
know?
You
I
should
mean,
immediately
if I
call
do
up your.
something wrong,
You should
then-
call the FBI immediately. Turn in all of your friends, and
ATF.
that goes for any of the people that are Trump supporters out there. If you know any, if you're so against Hunter Biden and don't
That's-
believe he
that's
should be pardoned,
ridiculous, man,
that
you
any
know?
single person
ain't
that
my-
you know
I'm
that
just
has ever
saying the
smoked a
dude
little
got
bit.
caught. So just because
Sir,
Hunter
he
Biden
didn't
got
get
caught, I should go
They
call
went
the
to
FBI.
2.5
Like,
years of an
ridiculous,
investigation
man.
trying to find something against him, sir. Sir, do you think if I freaking went through like the last did a 2.5 year investigation with the largest Justice Department in the world on you, I couldn't find a crime similar to what I just described?
They did the same thing to him the whole
No, they
time
did not.
Biden was in office, man.
That is not true at all.
So yeah, he was probably a little vindictive.
Sir, that's
I
not
mean,
true at
wouldn't
all.
you have
Sir,
been?
if I went through a 2.5 year investigation on you, do you think I could find a charge against you that was similar to what Hunter
Dude.
Biden was convicted of?
Half of Biden's election news.
Sir, it's a
coverage was
simple
from
question, sir. I
January
know you're
6th,
trying to
man.
move the argument. It is a simple question. Yes or no, sir? Do you think I could find a similar charge against you? Maybe you
No, I
handled a
don't break
weapon
the
while
law.
drinking one time. That's 10 years in prison, sir.
For what?
Yeah. If
Dude,
you had a
this is
consistent
Louisiana. We get drunk and go shoot skeet all the time.
yeah,
dude.
and
I
according
mean,
to the
it
same
is
federal
what-
law that Hunter Biden was convicted on, you could spend the next 10 years in prison for each time you did it, by the way. You just
Well, it's
admitted
political,
to a felony.
man. They got
sir,
him,
somebody called
you
the
know?
FBI. Sir. They went out of their way to find something to get him on, something that you literally just admitted to. But let's be very clear, they did not go out of their way to find something for Donald Trump. It didn't happen at all. Okay? Donald Trump's
Ooh,
lawyer
and guess what?
got in front of Congress and admitted to the crimes in front of a bunch of fucking Republicans because the Republicans had called him in.
It's also against Louisiana state laws to carry a gun while intoxicated. So you have also broken the law.
Wow, you're a felon both
Call the
federally
FBI,
and
man.
state.
I mean, I don't
and
know
state.
what to tell you. This
Yeah.
is Louisiana. Like,
But Hunter
it's,
Biden, what a criminal, man. I can't believe Biden freaking, pardoned his son for the exact same crime that this guy just admitted to doing multiple times.
On a live stream.
Yeah,
which
in front of freaking
also
thousands of people.
Can lead to a felony charge with mandatory prison sentences, even if you never utilized your firearm, meaning you never pulled the trigger and it went kaboom.
Yeah, so I actually think that you're right. I think we should overturn the pardon from Hunter Biden as long as this guy goes and turns himself into the FBI, so he can also be convicted of the same crime.
I don't think
He
Hunter
agrees with people
Biden
being convicted of it,
should
so
be
yeah, I guess he
in
also
the
Yeah,
political-
freaking, he can't
himself
believe
being
Biden pardoned
convicted
his
of it.
crackhead son
see,
for it, right?
this is how.
Can I
your
circle
show is
back
going,
something?
You know what
I
I'm saying?
actually do want to go back to a political point real quick instead of going down this.
Yeah, I agree.
Funny thing.
Go ahead.
You mentioned the inflation rate. Have you ever looked at the BLS data ever?
No, I mainly look at the gas prices right now, which that affects everything.
So
I'm
you've
kinda
never looked
watching,
at BLS
gas
data?
under. I'm saying gas under Biden was
No,
what, a
no,
high of
Matt.
five
This is a
something,
simple. This is
which
this is a simple yes or no question. Have you ever looked at BLS data?
no.
No. Okay. So if you actually had looked at it, you would know that there are 21 data points on the chart that BLS actually looks at, right? And out of those 21 data points,
What does BLS
I'm
stand
not
for?
Bureau of Labor Statistics. They're the ones that put out our CPI, our
Okay.
inflation data, our unemployment rate,
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
like that. So if you've ever looked at it, there are 21 data sets on the Bureau of Labor Statistics chart, right? For October and November, only 3 out of those 21 data sets are filled in. So therefore, the inflation rate as it is right now, supposedly at 2.6%, is skewed because it's empty.
Well, that's not good. Somebody didn't do their job. But I'm not sitting here claiming that inflation is extremely noticeably better. Okay. Every politician we've had over the past 10 years have sucked, in my opinion. Okay. They've been spending money out of control. It's out of control. The fraud in this country is out of control. The fighting in this country is out of control. Do I support Trump? Sure, I support some of the stuff he's doing. I'm not saying I support everything. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying if there was more conversation happening between the parties instead of pointing and putting people in political fire, like we were discussing Joe Biden and his son, just everything that's happening is just ridiculous, man. I mean, we should just go back to the days to where we could all work together and fix the wrong shit in our country
Sir, you're the
before
one who
worrying
chose
about
this.
what's going on in Ukraine
You chose
and
this.
other places in the
You
planet.
chose this. Okay. You
How
know
did I
when we
choose
used to
this?
work together? When Obama was president. And then all of you guys voted in the most divisive president in American
Oh,
history.
you saying all
And-
of you guys?
Yes,
How you
did
know
you
I
vote
didn't
for
vote
Trump?
for Obama?
Did you vote for Trump?
How you know I didn't? I
Did you vote for
voted
Trump?
for Obama the first time.
I didn't ask about Obama.
And I'm a
Did you vote
Republican.
for Trump? Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you guys, people that voted for Trump, okay, you guys chose the divisive president, okay? You chose a president that is
The
currently...
Americans chose
Sir,
this president.
Sir,
The Americans.
Sir,
It's not
sir,
Republicans or Democrats. I'm
Sir.
sure some Democrats voted
sir,
for him
no,
too as well.
non-Americans chose
Like,
it. People who are anti-American, anti-patriotic, and hate this fucking country chose Donald Trump because Donald Trump violates almost every aspect of the
No,
Constitution.
Dude, you
Listen to me.
drinking some
Listen to
crazy
me.
juice,
Listen
dude.
to me, sir.
You-
Listen to me, sir. You cannot concurrently say, I want us to get to a part where we're back together, okay? That we can actually talk about things in the United States while supporting a president who is literally calling the left domestic fucking terrorists, who is calling for the literal hanging
Well, they
and
are moving
execution,
and
who is
using
calling for the
domestic
execution, well,
terrorists.
exactly, execution of U.S. congressmen, okay, who literally is trying to denaturalize a U.S. freaking congresswoman, okay? And you're like, oh, well, they deserve it. You're saying it over the background. Well, then you're the reason why we're divisive, sir.
Who said
Yep.
they
That's your
deserve it?
problem.
You.
That's
Do I think
you,
anybody
sir.
in a
That's
political
you.
line of fire deserves to
You
die?
literally,
No.
Matt, you just said, yeah, that's right, because they are. You literally agreed with Donald Trump that somehow the left are domestic terrorists, right? When
No,
they're
they
not.
are moving into
They're
some
moving
crazy,
into it?
uncharted territories right now.
Oh,
I mean, look
yeah.
at the stuff that happened with Charlie Kirk. That's terrible, man.
Yeah, how about
You
the
know,
stuff that happened
like-
with like Melissa Hortman or Nancy Pelosi's
That's
husband?
terrible too.
Oh, do you know the
Did you see the
DOJ actually
lady
released
in,
a report? And hey, do you
I
know the
forget what
DOJ?
country
Hey,
it
sir.
is. They threw the grenade at her head the other day. I
Yeah,
mean,
sir. Do you know
dude,
that
like,
the DOJ had to release a report and then
stuff
rescind
happening
it?
all over the
Hey,
world is just
hey, hey,
ridiculous.
Hey, you know the DOJ
Hey.
had to release a report and then rescind it that said over 70% of political violence that happens in the United States comes from the right.
Okay, well, where is it?
Oh, it's out there. You can easily find
Give
it.
me
The
some
DOJ put
examples.
it out.
I
Yeah.
mean, you don't see right-wing extremists going on the roof shooting people speaking at a campus, dude. I mean, it's not
No, you see them
happening.
shooting them in schools.
I mean, look, even the ICE stuff that is happening in Minnesota, you know,
What about it?
it's terrible. All of it's terrible,
Mm.
you know?
So you don't condone what the ICE officer did in Minnesota this week, right?
I condone both parties in that.
No,
fact,
no, I'm
okay?
asking you a
Because
very specific question. Do you condone what Officer Ross did in Minnesota?
okay, but I'm answering, but there's also another part to that answer, is what I'm saying. So I will answer that specific and say yes,
Mhm.
and then I also say the fault was for both parties. Is my
Cool.
answer.
Tell me what
Okay.
law allowed Officer Russ to shoot an unarmed woman.
And at that point, when you're being told to stop, a
Oh,
lawful
she was
order to
told
stop,
right before
and
she
you're
was
in a
told to get out of the
vehicle,
car. She was
and a
also told
person
to
is in
leave.
front, an officer is in, I'm trying to answer your question. So can I finish? At that point, her vehicle became the weapon. Okay? If you're getting a lawful order to stop your car and then you take off in a direction of a police officer, at that point, deadly force can be used upon you.
What
Did the
is
car hit
16?
him? That's
Oh,
debatable. Okay, I'll give you that. Some angles show it. Did he have to shoot? He probably could have restrained himself. But when all that happens in a split second, I mean, that dude probably has a family to go home to as well. It's a messed up situation. And that's what I was getting at, of talking about unity and getting this country back on track. Dude, this country is crazy right now.
hold on.
And we need to fix these problems.
We're not moving away from Renee Good and Officer Russ, okay?
No, sure, go ahead.
I want you to
Go
tell
ahead.
me, what does the Department of Justice own policy 16.000 state about the use of deadly force when a suspect is
I don't
in a
have a
vehicle?
computer in front of me, ma'am.
Cool.
So if you
I'll
if
go
you
ahead
could
and
please
tell
read
you.
it to me, great.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, according to the own
Sure.
Department of Justice policy, use of deadly force is not authorized on somebody in a vehicle. You know what they actually recommend you to do?
If
Move out
they're
of the
leaving,
way.
yes, I know what you're saying.
If they're what?
Okay, but if they're fleeing the scene, yes, I get
Which
what
she
you're
was
saying.
told to
But you
leave
need
the
to
scene.
understand, at that point, if he's standing in front of her and
Actually,
he fears for his
the only
life,
difference is that in the Department of Justice manual, it explicitly states suspect, and she was not a suspect nor accused of any crime in that moment. She was an unarmed civilian that definitely should not have had deadly force used against her.
And let's also make it clear that
Okay, but
because
if they
this
were-
person is not
Go
a
ahead.
police officer that shot her, let's be very clear on that. He was not a police officer
Yeah,
and has
I say
zero
just- yeah.
jurisdiction, okay, over this person whatsoever. And there was another ICE officer that told her to leave. Okay, so she did not need to get out of the car because one officer told her to get out of the car and one officer told her to leave. And unless you're one agent told her to leave, so unless you have a way of explaining to me how she is supposed to get out of the car and also leave the scene simultaneously, then I don't know exactly what the hell she was supposed to do, sir. But at the end of the day, case law specifically says if you have the ability to get out of the way of the vehicle, deadly force is not authorized. And he did get out of the way of the vehicle before firing. It's just that simple. It's a murder,
So
period.
did
End of
the
story.
vehicle hit him?
No.
No.
Did the vehicle hit him?
No, not even from
There
his
are
own
angles
video.
showing that the vehicle
Not
did
even from his own.
come in contact with the
Donald
officer.
Trump's singular video from very far away that was very grainy showed that he probably was hit. But even if you look at his own video that was released by the Department of Justice, it doesn't show that he got hit.
I guess we'll have to wait for his body cam footage.
They were not
But,
wearing
look,
body cams.
To sum it up, yes, the whole situation
Because they're not police
is
officers.
ridiculous.
So they weren't wearing body cams.
Nor are they required to.
They had body cams on them. Where did they get the footage from the other officer? I've seen
From
He
his
was
there's
cell
video
phone.
circulating from the other
recording it on his
officer that
cell
was walking
phone.
around the car.
He was recording it on his cell phone.
The guy who walked around her car is Officer Ross, who shot and killed Renee Good.
Okay.
He was holding his phone. He
They-
videotaped her saying, "I'm not mad at you, bro."
That wasn't the guy that was standing in front of the car.
Yes, it was. The video is released.
that
of
was
him.
not.
Yes, it is. Do I need to play the
What?
video, sir?
That was him that shot her.
The guy
The guy literally had his
the
cell
guy
phone
so
out.
how was he recording filming himself shooting the girl. Like,
Yeah,
you're not.
he.
You
I
have
don't
your
know if you
facts
realize
mixed up,
this.
man.
but
He hasn't seen the video.
Yeah, he
like
has not.
obviously he has not seen the video. Sir, there's other people
How did the
recording
guy
him.
get? We
and
must be talking about
he's-
2 different videos, then, man.
That's what you obviously have not
That-
seen the entirety of the video. You probably watched one video someplace and think you understand the situation. There's about 8 different angles of this video, including the video of the guy who shot her. Okay, recording with his own cell phone.
Okay, well, but it's not that I saw most of the videos associated with it. Okay, we're arguing about which video it is, you know?
Yes, we
I'm
are
just
arguing about what
saying,
video
man.
it is because she literally looked at the guy and said, "I'm not mad at you, bro. Like, no problems whatsoever." Then he walks in front of the vehicle. She then backs up the vehicle away from him, then turns her wheel all the way to the right to do every effort to avoid the officers. Then the car does not hit such officer, and then he fires at her from the left-hand side of the vehicle, sir. There are about 8 different angles of this video, all showing that in no way, shape, or form, under any type of law, case law, freaking Department of Homeland Security policy, freaking ICE policy, any police officer policy, FBI policy, local law enforcement policy, under any of it, none of it is legal. It is murder in every single
Okay,
instance.
So
And the Trump administration is calling
if you're an
her
officer
a
and you're
domestic
in fear of your
terrorist.
life,
He's not
it's
an officer.
deadly force
Perfect.
authorized.
Actually, I like this. He was in fear of his life, right? Why didn't the other ICE officers pull their guns? There was substantial danger.
Maybe they
Why
weren't in fear
didn't
for their
the
life.
other ICE officers
If
pull their guns?
they possibly weren't in fear for their life, I can't tell you why people
No,
do
but if
stuff
they
and
were
why
in
they
fear
don't
of
do
his
stuff.
life, if she was threatening his life, they are more than authorized to use deadly force. But not a single officer.
And he must have felt
four
fear
other
of his
officers.
life.
4 other officers at that scene all saw what happened, and not a single one of them thought that she was a threat to him. Therefore, not a singular other one of them even drew their weapon. Forget firing it.
Well,
not
the
a
only
singular
thing I
either
can
one
conclude
drew it.
is how many were standing in front of the vehicle when she went to pull
Sir,
off.
again, if they saw him standing in front of the vehicle and he was in danger from her, they can still pull their weapon. They don't have to be the person in front of the vehicle in order to defend the fellow officer who's a threat.
Hey, you can go over all the scenarios that you want, man.
I'm not going over all the scenarios. I'm going over this scenario.
Within 2
This is what
seconds.
happened right now.
Some people don't even have
currently what
time
happened.
to react to this, man.
Then they shouldn't be fucking
this
ICE
is happening
agents.
in real time.
He shouldn't
Then
have
they
been
shouldn't
there.
be fucking ICE agents. If they are so quick triggered and so fucking quick to fucking try to shoot somebody, then they should not be given a gun and a fucking badge and sent out into the fucking community. If they're that fucking shit, then they shouldn't fucking be there. But Donald Trump is
Literally.
just shipping people into fucking ICE because he's trying to get everybody deported. He's just sending whoever the fuck out there who obviously doesn't have the temperament or the freaking morality or humanity to be holding a weapon at fucking anyone.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That I agree with you, dude. Look, there's problems on both sides of what happened.
Then
okay?
condemn the
But-
shooting of
and
Renee
there
Nicole
should be a
Good.
better
Matt,
way
Matt,
to fix immigration.
Matt, please, for a second. If
Sure,
you
what?
agree with everything that Paulie just went over, then condemn the shooting of Renee Nicole Good.
Yes, okay, I'll condemn it, but at the same time, there's other
But
factions you have to put in there that
But
you know
it's always but.
she shouldn't have raced the car towards
She
the
didn't.
officer. That's a dumb
Ooh, 5
move,
miles an
okay?
hour. I don't,
That's
like,
that's an idiotic
there's-
move.
There's
It is.
further case
Okay.
law that says that he shouldn't have done exactly what he did. There's so much case law, not
Cool.
even Barnes v. Felix
That's not going
of
to bring her back
2025.
from the grave. You know what I'm saying? Whenever stuff happens in the moment, you know, if I get pulled over by a police officer, I'm not going to act erratic and act stupid.
I'm sorry.
And-
If an
and-
ICE officer pulled me over, I'm not listening to a damn thing that they tell me because they have
And that's
no
your right.
jurisdiction.
That's
They
your
have
right.
zero jurisdiction over United States citizens that have not broken any singular federal law. At most, they could pull me over and be like, I think you might be an immigrant, which would be
Fucking hilarious.
I would
Yeah, it'd be
love
fucking
for that to
hilarious. Yeah,
actually- can
that'd be
ICE
fucking
come
great.
Pull
Yeah.
me over just to accuse me of not being a legal immigrant, just so I
But
can
you-
get a laugh.
Please let me be in the passenger
I
seat.
want-
We're going
yeah.
live right there,
Yeah,
dude.
we're
I'm turning on the
recording the
recording.
shit out of
We're doing this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But because I haven't
Would you
been
would you rather
accused
fight an
or
officer on side the road, or would you
Dude,
rather fight him
I'm
in the
just letting you.
courthouse?
I'm not going to fight an officer. I'll just leave. Here's how this works, right? I understand my rights as an American citizen. As long as I haven't violated any federal laws, ICE literally has zero jurisdiction. They could ask me to stay in place while they call state cops, while they accuse me of having broken a state law, but that's the most that they can do. And guess what? I still don't have to listen to them as a United States citizen.
So this
Okay.
whole thing,
Like-
expanded from you talking about being divisive. Okay. And while I know you tried to throw that little but in at the end and you're like, but, she shouldn't have done that, but she shouldn't have done that, but the JD Vance and Kristi Noem got on television and called her a domestic terrorist, said that she was a radical leftist that was committing an act of domestic terrorist. And then you wonder why we're divided. Okay, because a single mother or not married, a mother of three, a married
She's
mother of
widowed,
three,
so.
was shot in the face 3 times from the left-hand side of her vehicle, and the people that you support call her a domestic terrorist when we all saw the video of her get murdered, and you're still supporting it. That's why we're divided, sir. That's the only reason we're divided. If you, would be more of a human and less of a Trump supporter, then we wouldn't be divided right now. But unfortunately, you would rather support Trump,
Wait,
then support human decency, then support humanity, to support a person's right to fucking live, or, a person's right according to the Constitution or the law, right? In what an officer has the right to do or not do, or an agent has the right to do or not do in these type of situations. Okay. The second that people that supported Trump start holding Trump and his administration accountable for the things that they are doing, then we can stop being divisive. As long as you guys just keep freaking covering your face in the orange Cheeto dust, I got nothing to say to you, big dog. Honestly, it's just there's nothing to come together with you on.
okay. I mean, if that's how you feel, man. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. By all means. I mean,
You
look,
can't.
just to be clear, I condemn what the ICE officer did. Do I think that lady deserved to die? Absolutely not. Okay. I'm just saying the situation as a whole needs to be thoroughly looked at. And I don't think all the dust is settled, is what I'm saying. So if you can't agree on that, then I mean, there's nothing we can.
Yeah, sir. The dust should have been
discuss about it,
settled. Before they started claiming that
what?
people were domestic terrorists. But anyways,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm
That's
good on this
common sense,
conversation.
man.
I think it's
Yeah.
time to move on to the next person. So
Yeah, it's been 40 something minutes with you, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, it was fun. Hey, look, I don't hold any animosity towards y'all. I just wanted to call because I do watch your show, man. And
Appreciate
I
it.
just see y'all, lean toward away from Trump, and I just wanted to know why. I don't.
Not a problem.
It's all good, man. That's what freedom of speech is for. So it was a pleasure speaking with y'all. So
right,
have
man.
a good one.
yep, have
Bye.
one. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I know we had a problem with the volume earlier and all that sort of stuff, so we're still we're getting through. I'm good to keep going. I don't know how you're feeling.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. We're going to keep this thing going. I really appreciate you. Please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to run through most of the super chats a little bit later in the live, but I did want to throw out one that I saw in here. Politics with Matt said, we don't claim this, Matt, but what about, what about exactly? Matt, I actually thought this was you for a second when I heard the voice. I wasn't actually positive. I'm
not responsible for this comment.
Awesome. A good friend except for today. Bolt up, baby. Let's go. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna get through a couple of these. Actually, I saw one more I wanted to hit too. I'm the problem. Thank you so much. Says plus the state is looking to charge him. Read that today. Yeah, they have been. I mean, they want to already. I thought the feds already said they weren't gonna let him have it.
Yeah, so the FBI is controlling the investigation. The state is looking to press charges. The only issue is he is a federal officer. It'll get moved to a federal charge. And guess what'll happen there? Donald Trump will just pardon him if he gets convicted.
Yeah, after this guy was just talking about Hunter Biden, watch this guy get pardoned, which is crazy. Like he was talking about Hunter Biden, like Donald Trump literally pardoned people that freaking funded Boko Haram and shit. Like, But anyways. Yeah, sorry about that. Maureen, thank you so much for the $2 over on Cash App too. I really, really appreciate that. For educating Halfwoods, thank you so much. And Marika, thank you so much for $3.45 over on PayPal. So thank you and Ari from Canada. You're the only one who says my name right. Oh, I'm glad you didn't she spelled it out so I could pronounce it correctly. Y'all, if you guys would like to support the live,
Marika?
Marika, I said it right. You guys, if you guys would like to support the live, we do super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio, all that sort of stuff, live gift goals. So if you guys would like to support, we really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting political conversations, independent political media. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Also, make sure you're following both of our channels. We do go live about 6 days a week. A lot of times individually, but we've been getting a little bit more into this. So thank you guys so much for being here. Hello, how are you?
Hey, doing good. How's everything?
Going good. How old are you?
I am 33.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why is that? Thank you so much, Toad.
So for me, supporting Trump is basically mainly on the reason that he's here to destroy the system.
Yeah, I don't do the whole anarchist conversations. They bore me.
I was literally going to say I'm not talking to an anarchist.
Yeah, I get bored with these. Anyways, it's such a dumb argument.
What is anarchist?
Huh?
What is
Oh,
anarchist?
I'm sorry. Accelerationist.
Oh, sorry. Accelerationist. Yeah, I said anarchist too. Accelerationist. Yeah. It's literally the worst argument in politics. I'd literally rather talk to Trump supporters. I'd rather literally talk to neo-Nazis than talk to freaking accelerationists.
Yeah, I realized I was wrong because I actually, one of my people is an ANCAP, anarchist capitalist. And I'm like, wait, I talk to him all the time.
Yeah, it's
accelerationist I don't talk to because you don't care about humanity in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's just... I'm sorry. It's just a really bad argument. I'm not going to have it. I apologize. If you guys want to, maybe he's on someplace else where you guys can talk to him. Hello, how are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep. How old are you?
23.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think he was the better option out of the two options.
Somebody can take over Donald Trump's position right now.
Huh?
He said he's the better option out of the two. Who can take over Donald Trump's position right now?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's not even like 2025 anymore. It's 2026, and we're still talking about the election, sir.
Oh, is that what he meant?
We're way past that, sir. Kamala Harris hasn't been politically relevant in like well over a year. I'm asking why you still support him.
Oh, anyway, so you brought up that police and woman situation getting...
Nope, not police.
Getting shot?
Not police.
Or she got ran over?
Not police.
What does that have to do with Trump and Republicans, though? I was just wondering.
Because Trump put that ICE agent there?
And after the event occurred, he called Renee Nicole Good, the woman who was the victim of a crime, a radical. They started calling her a domestic terrorist. She's not a domestic terrorist.
So if Biden put the ICE agent there, it's his fault for what the ICE agent does?
If he didn't allow an investigation to ensue whatsoever and freaking just immediately blamed the victim, then yeah, it's 100% Biden's fault.
You brought that up to justify Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, like that has anything to do with
what are you talking about?
No, we didn't.
Yes, you did. Go back to the live. Let's rewind.
Sir, anybody can go back to the live. These things are all recorded and online for all times, but no, the fuck we didn't.
Are we gonna do it right now? Okay.
Sure, go ahead and do it,
So
sir. I don't give a shit.
You brought it up to justify Charlie Kirk getting assassinated. For
No, we did not, sir. Again, if you have proof of that, go ahead.
That woman didn't get killed.
No, sir. No, you are making a claim against us. Go ahead and bring it up.
It's a factual claim.
Then prove it.
How do I prove it?
That's not my fucking problem, sir. How you prove it. That's your
I already
claim.
quoted what you did. You brought it up to combat his argument.
Well, no, we didn't. So I'm not going to argue with you about something that we didn't do, okay?
Literally on the live. Anyone can go back and see. You're telling
Yes,
me
they
to prove
can.
it.
They can say that you're a lying piece of
I
shit,
just proved
okay?
it. I did. Oh, I'm a piece of shit now.
I
Yes.
proved it because I said it. I told you so.com.
Oh,
Trust
gotcha.
me,
Well, you know what?
bro.com.
I actually
You
heard
want me
this
to play-
guy
you want me
right
to play the
before he got on
recording?
this live.
You want me
He
to
called
play
me
the
the
recording?
N-word.
Do you want me to
Oh,
go
I
back
heard
to
yeah,
that
right
too.
now?
I heard him do it. I heard him
Okay,
do it,
it's gonna
sir.
take
He
me
Wow,
called.
I did
Yeah, right before he got on the
too.
live,
I
he
have to
called me
turn
the
on a- I
N-word.
He
have
was
to
like,
turn
I'm
on
gonna
another
hit up
device.
this.
Yeah,
I have to
it
turn
was
on
way
another
worse than
device
that.
and play it
Okay,
through.
I'm
I think
pretty
he was.
sure.
I think he
You
talked
know,
about slavery for
I
a second
also
too.
heard him call me a "see you next Tuesday."
Yeah, that's
No,
freaking
you
That's
brought
not
it up to
cool.
horrible.
justify
Horrible.
Charlie
Why would you
Kirk's
do that,
Yeah,
sir?
it's so rude.
Has
Why would you
nothing to
do that?
Has nothing to do with her political
Sir, that's
views. What does that
racist.
have to do with anything?
Sir, that's racist. Why
And
would you say that?
sexist.
Wait, what's racist? What's racist?
What you said about me?
What did I say?
And sexist. What you said about me.
I know,
Goddamn.
just horrible, sir.
Wait, what did I say? Quote me.
All right, we already did, sir.
Oh, you already did. I
Yeah.
don't think I said
Perhaps if
anything
you
racist,
had
sexist,
stopped
but
talking
okay.
for any length past 2 seconds, you would know.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything racist or sexist. You sound crazy.
You sure did. We
Yeah.
heard it.
We definitely
Everybody
heard
heard it, actually.
Prove
it.
it.
Yeah, everybody heard
I
it.
think
Prove it.
all 2,000 people
Yeah.
actually heard him say that.
Wait, I thought you have to prove it. You claimed
No,
it.
no,
Prove
yeah,
it.
we have the recording of it. As soon as you prove what we said, then we'll prove what you said.
Oh,
we'll
I'm
be right
doing it.
behind you,
I'm
man.
pulling it up on.
Yeah,
another
do
device
it,
so I
man.
can play
Perfect.
it
As soon
back.
as you prove it, go ahead.
The second he brought up Charlie Kirk's assassination, you started bringing up the woman getting shot by.
No, because he
an
didn't
ICE
bring up
Nope.
Charlie
What?
Kirk's assassination. So let me
What?
inform you of what the
Like, how does that
conversation.
have anything to do
Shh,
with it?
shh.
She didn't get murdered.
Sir, I'll
for
hang
her
up if you don't be
political
quiet
views.
right now. Seriously,
Yeah,
I'm
good
already
boy,
over this
good boy.
conversation.
See
Be
ya.
quiet.
Bye. You fucking feminist. The fuck?
I am a
he called us
feminist. Is that an
feminist.
issue?
I know, horrible. Anyways, what actually had in the conversation was he brought up Charlie Kirk and saying that the left was committing violence. So then we brought up the right committing violence. It wasn't anything about
And
justifying
we brought up
anybody's
Melissa
death.
Hortman and Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
didn't. Nancy Pelosi's husband. I can never remember his name. Paul Pelosi? I think it's Paul. Like, we brought
It
up
is
them.
Paul. It is Paul. I'm mad that I know that, honestly.
I'm the one who brought up ICE because the guy said he liked immigration.
Thank you so much. Sid. Your work is very important, guys. We need to unite, not divide, stand for democracy and human rights. Greetings from Switzerland. Okay,
Hey,
I didn't know
Switzerland.
what CHF was. I know. Now I know. And I had to learn. Thank you so much, Switzerland in the house, y'all. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. How old are you?
29.
Awesome. Real quick, y'all, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. And also, please make sure you turn on those notifications so you know when new content comes out. We really appreciate that. Kayla, also, thank you so much for the $2 over on Venmo. Said, I definitely heard it with my 2,000 ears. Yep, Kayla heard it, so it must have happened. It
Yep,
definitely
and-
must have happened.
And Maureen, thank you for the 2 on the blue app as well.
Awesome. So why do you still support Trump?
You two are morons.
Why do you sound like you're 50-something? Oh, he ran.
It sounded like he just.
Do MAGA live such hard lives? You ever notice how MAGA just like every time they come on, they're like, I'm 24 and they sound 60?
They do sound older. It's never they sound their age. It's either they sound older than what they are, or they sound super young.
You're not joking.
Like,
They're either 23 and sound 50 or 23 and sound 15. Like it's never.
And like no hate, I know that I legit talked to a child because the kid was able. He prepared. He gave his age and gave an exact date of birth because the kid came prepared, and I carried on that conversation. Or when I tripped him up by asking him what year he graduated high school, and he definitely did quick math for that. And I was like, all right, I guess I gotta
Hey,
talk. to
at least
this
he had quick
15.
math. If he did quick math, he's better than most of the MAGA that we talk to.
Exactly.
So, there is something to be said about quick math. That is not nothing. I really appreciate it. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
All right.
Whenever I hear somebody say good
I watch
evening,
you
I
guys
think like
show
Frankenstein.
sometimes, you know, this is something to talk about, man.
This is something to talk about, sir. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. What state do you vote in?
I live in Florida,
Live in Florida?
but yes, but I roll all 40.
Okay.
I'll do
So why do you support
15,
Trump?
16 states. Well, I got the opportunity.
Hold on. Stand
to
by,
see
sir.
what's going on.
Stand by, sir.
I got the opportunity.
Sir, stop talking. We just lost connections to stuff. 1 second. Oh no, just what is going on here?
It was just a second. If you,
Why did we
it's
lose?
gonna disconnect
Yeah.
us on.
Oh, it's back. We're back. We're good.
You have to go back.
Okay. Yes.
It's fine.
You guys have a lot of lines going off.
No, we just had a little connection issue for some reason. I don't know what just happened there. But regardless, why do you say you support Trump?
Yes. Yeah, I support Trump because I have experience under Barack Obama, Trump, Biden government. I am a businessman. I'm a capitalist.
Those are also those are all capitalists. Everybody you just named is a capitalist.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. Let me explain myself. I am speaking from personal experience, right? Under Barack Obama government, I had very good business going on until the recession hit. When the recession hit, things got so bad in Florida that a lot of people leave Florida. 441 was filled with cars. A lot of business was booming. But when the recession hit, everything just got clean and looked dry. You know, people start to look for jobs all over the United States. So I moved to Georgia for
Yeah, real quick
a
on that, sir.
year
When did that
in
recession
order to
start?
get into another job. Right, in order to
Yeah,
get into
real quick,
another
sir.
job.
When did that recession start?
Pardon me?
When did that recession start?
That recession started about I would say 2006,
2007.
but
And who was the president in 2007?
it was Barack Obama.
Nope. Nice try. Barack Obama didn't start presidency until 2009.
January 20th to be exact.
No. Barack Obama did two. He did 2 terms.
Yep, the
Right?
first one started in
Right,
2009.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
so
right.
that recession started under
it started-
Republicans. Yeah, the last 10
Yeah,
recessions in the
Bush.
United States have
started-
started under Republicans.
Yeah. The recession started under the Republican government, but the bubble really burst under Barack government.
No.
That was actually
And
2008 when the bubble burst, right?
Yeah, and who was president in
Still
2008?
Bush. Yeah. Yep,
Still
still
Bush.
Bush. Yep.
Still Bush.
Yeah, 2009,
What a crazy.
2010, it got real bad. 2010.
When did the
2011.
recession end? Let's try this question. Maybe he knows this.
When the recession end?
Yeah, when did it like confirmed end?
Well, things start. Well, actually, things start coming back. Things start coming back the last year of Barack government.
Sir, this is a complete joke, and I'm sorry. I don't even know why I'm having this conversation. This is a complete joke, sir.
Yeah.
We went through a recession in 2007. The recession went from 2007 to 2009. We had the housing bubble burst in 2008. All of those things super negatively affected the economy, and then Obama came in. Obama came in and did wonders for the economy. By the time he left, the whole thing was fucking buzzing. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about, but you obviously are for some reason saying like, "Oh, I went through all these presidencies, and yet you're blaming the wrong one."
Listen.
I'm trying. You're making it difficult.
Yeah. Listen, I'm speaking from my personal experience.
Sir,
Okay.
I understand that, but your personal
people
experience
speak-
is heavily
people
inaccurate.
speak of numbers.
I've never actually
All right.
had to say that somebody's
right.
own personal experience is somehow wrong.
I mean, if they don't even know who was president in what year and they can't even keep up, that somehow the recession started in 2006 and it was Obama's fault. And it lasted his entire presidency through. Wait, I'm curious. When did Obama leave office? Let's try this.
No.
No.
Barack leave
When did
office
Obama leave office? I want an
2017,
answer to this question,
2017
please.
January.
Tell me when Obama left office.
2017
In January, he said it. It was in January.
And what year?
No, just January. Don't worry
Just
about what
January?
year. Just a year.
2017.
2017. Fantastic. So according to you, the recession went all the way through to his last year, so 2016. That is fucking
No,
crazy. So it lasted for
no, I
10
didn't
years.
say-
Guys, did you know that
Hold
we
on,
were in a
sister.
10-year recession according to Caller?
Hold up, sister. Hold up. You know, first
If
of all,
you
I
just
don't use
Google it,
profanities.
you'll get an answer of
I don't
when
use-
the recession was from.
I don't use profanities. Okay. And
Yeah,
I
but
think
we
we're trying
fucking
to have
do.
a conversation.
Oh no, I said the F word. Ooh. Fuck.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, whatever
What
shall we
what
do?
I'm saying, what I'm saying, okay? For every year that each president oversees America, they have to take responsibility for whatever happens under their government,
That's no,
under
no, they
their
don't.
leadership.
No,
Okay?
no.
No?
First of all, let's also be very clear.
All
Donald
right. So
Trump
let
is
me ask
not
you a
taking
question.
credit for a single thing that's happened since he's the president. You would think Obama just ended his 5th year of presidency, as much as Donald Trump says. Like every single thing that happens right now in the United States is just like, oh, it happened. It's bad. It's because of Obama. Oh, Obama.
Russia, Russia, Russia.
Russia. See, we
All
had
right,
the
hold on a
worst
second. All
economy.
right, let's
We had
keep. All right,
everything was
let's
bad, and
keep
then I
current
came in
issues.
and I'm trying
All
to
right,
fix it because this morning
let us keep.
I had some Taco Bell last night and my stomach was upset, and it was probably the fire sauce. It was probably because of Biden. See, sleepy Joe Biden, he left the fire sauce on the chalupa. I didn't want it there. It's because he had no brain. He couldn't even walk. He couldn't even walk to put the fire sauce away. That's why I was on the toilet for 6 straight hours this morning. There's no other way to talk about it. It was definitely by Hunter Biden's laptop. I have the entire video of it on Hunter Biden's laptop. These were the weapons of mass destruction that was on Hunter Biden's laptop. It was the fire sauce.
Like, I'll be honest. So they love telling us in the chat that Trump lives rent free in your head. Literally, Obama lives rent free permanently in Donald Trump's head, all because Obama won a Nobel Peace Prize a couple months into his first year of presidency. And Donald Trump now still wants it so bad.
I don't think it's just that. I think that people also liked Obama and no one likes Trump.
Oh, that's true
And
too.
I think just being like generally likable is usually something that like losers want to be, but they can't. Like you can't make someone likable. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to like Obama was a very likable person. Like
Charisma.
yeah,
You can't buy that.
Like Biden was fine. Biden wasn't like didn't have like real charisma. Like I bet he did maybe when he was like, you know, younger, but he lacked like a little bit of that likability. But Obama was like, you know, like tall, good-looking man, you know what I'm saying? Like smart, you know, like in control, very like held together and very likable. Like he goes like Laker games and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like he's you know, he's a basketball guy, likable guy. Donald Trump is just simply not like it's what Elon Musk tried to buy in the last election. Like someone told Elon Musk, right, that one day, like if he had enough money, he'd be likable, and he's the richest man in the world, and still nobody fucking likes him. You know how miserable that must be? Like you just can't buy likability. You can't power yourself into likability. You still suck. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I think that's what he really envies about Obama is just that people like him and like nobody likes Trump. But maybe that's just my opinion.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like Bush was a horrible president. Okay, he was horrible. He was a bumbling goofball, right? Who like committed war crimes and started a bunch of wars. But dude, I can watch those videos of him just saying like just like wild shit like all day long, and I smile.
Now watch this drive.
This is the first one I think of every single time, dude. The first one I think of it. Now watch this drive, and he just gets some of this, and like I can watch that all day long, or like we got this saying in Texas, probably have it in Tennessee, also have it in Texas. Fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, can't get fooled again. All right. I can watch that every single fucking it is 20 years later, and every single time I watch it, I laugh my whole ass off, dude. Like it's so funny every single time. Like just a whole bumbling goofball. But anyways, just Trump just can't buy that. And I think
Yeah, and now we just get to laugh at Donald Trump saying that his favorite places to go are
I forgot he was here.
yeah, same.
Oh,
McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Now we get to laugh at that. Or wait, no, never mind. I won't go to that one.
Anyway, sorry. What was your point? I forgot you were here. I apologize.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I listen when people talk because I don't like to be interrupted. So I don't like to interrupt people when they're having their fun either. You know? But how about we speak to the current issue issues that we have right now. That makes sense?
Cool.
Yeah,
What
let's do
issue?
them. Who is currently president right now?
Good question.
Well, Mr. Trump is the president right now.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
And
Cool.
what is Mr. Trump doing for you?
All right. As I said to you, right now I am in the transportation industry. Based upon what he has been doing since he got back into power, the trucking industry has been doing a whole lot better. Freight has been rolling back. The prices has been doing okay. I've seen a lot of warehouses, plants, new buildings going up all over the country. And when I speak that, I speak from experience, right? I've been to farms, I've been to plants, I've been to warehouses, because that's the business of moving freight. Fuel prices is good. When I get onto the pump, when I get onto the fuel pump to fuel up my truck and my reefer, I'm spending about $650 maximum. Under Joe Biden government, at one point, I was looking at $1,700, and the price of freight was down. So as a trucker, Trump has done a whole lot. His government has done a whole lot for the transportation industry. Okay, that I can speak to. I don't like
Can I?
everything
Oh.
he does, such as I don't like the petty behavior. You don't have to follow. You don't have to follow everything you hear, or you
Yeah.
have to answer
Mhm.
every argument. I hate that. It's like every time he opens his mouth, sometimes he put his foot in it.
Mhm. So,
You know.
can
So
you?
I don't like that part. Go ahead.
What policy did Donald Trump sign into law to lower your cost of gas?
The energy sector. It's easy.
What policy did Donald Trump sign into law to lower your cost of gas?
By executive orders, right?
Oh, are executive orders law?
Yes, they put
Executive orders are
by
law?
orders. Listen,
Executive orders are law?
by
Is that your claim?
listen. We're talking about what's going on under this
Yeah,
current
yeah, and
government.
I'm
Okay.
pressuring you on it,
So
right?
I
So
am
I'm asking you
saying.
direct questions
Listen, I am
about
not.
your statement,
Yes.
and I want an answer. So I want to know
I didn't say
exactly
anything about
how
law.
Donald Trump
I didn't
lower
say
your
anything
gas
about law. I am
prices
saying.
through law, because I think you don't realize that executive orders cannot affect private companies.
Hold on a second.
Executive orders
If
cannot affect
listen,
private companies, sir.
yes. Yeah. If executive orders cannot affect companies, private companies, right? Then why does private companies are getting more contracts under the government after they have signed executive orders? Explain that to me.
Congress. Do you know who Congress is?
Of course, I know who Congress is.
Oh, okay.
Everybody in the United States, even the immigrants that just came here. Oh, by the way, I'm an immigrant. I've been here about 25 years now.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
came
Sir.
in the right way. I came in through the right channel. I waited 10 years, 8 years before I got my citizenship.
Yeah, that's awesome, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
I
literally
paid
under
my
almost
dues,
every single
right?
metric in trucking was down in 2025.
Pardon me?
Almost every single metric when it comes to trucking was down in 2025. Yeah,
No.
this is actually a specific article
No,
right
no, no,
here
no, no.
talking about
You
how there
can.
was like
I'm
a
not. Listen,
huge,
I'm not talking about
huge number of
articles.
Chapter 11 bankruptcies in the trucking industry, specifically in 2025.
It-
This is
No,
another,
no, no, no.
yeah, this is,
Listen.
it was bleak in
Listen.
2025 with the trucking industry with numerous bankruptcies, rising costs, and uncertain future for major players. The trucking industry is facing the most challenging freight market in years, with loads down and costs increasing. ATRI's operational cost data and customized benchmark report that the company's us to similar fleets are more critical than ever as we navigate rising costs and decreasing margins in this adverse environment. This was a good one. I actually looked at this one where it actually showed like net orders, and it showed how orders were down. It actually goes through like medium vehicle, trailers, large vehicles, tariff and cost inflation, EPA compliance, the labor dynamics that affect trucking. This one's not as fun because I can't just put it on like a little chart and show it to all you guys. But I will throw this in a Discord because this is actually really excellent data to show the trucking industry failed
Not
miserably.
good.
Yeah, like failed miserably in 2025 under Donald Trump.
No. Listen. What you're looking at doesn't line up with the reality of what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yellow,
hey,
which is
actually,
huge
I do
company,
love this one
went
real quick.
bankrupt.
Do
Listen,
you,
listen.
so you are
Li-
you are a
listen to
trucker.
me.
I want to just ask you one question.
Okay?
Please. You like
I am
going
in the
about
industry.
your anecdotal stories, your personal stories. So I want to know something. Do you as an individual represent the entirety of the trucking industry?
No one person represents the whole industry.
Oh, okay, you don't represent the industry and you are not
But
representative
but
of
I'm
the
a part.
entire
I'm a
trucking
part.
industry as
I
well,
can
right?
speak. Listen, I can speak to it because I'm a
Okay,
part of
thank
it.
you.
I contribute. I am a contributor to it, so I can speak about it. I am not like you guys that sit around the desk in your little podcast office and look up data and make speculation. I am speaking about issues underground. I have been underground. I've been in the oil fields. I've been at the warehouses. I've been at the plants. I've seen it all. Yellow went bankrupt. Celadon went bankrupt. Those are huge trucking companies. Warner, they still don't know what they're doing, which is one of the biggest, one of the biggest trucking companies. Swift had to merge. Sierra England has to merge with some other companies. So what I'm telling you, you guys are talking about data. I'm telling you about the reality of what's going on.
Do you know why
Another
we talk
thing,
about the data of things? Because your reality is not reality. Okay? It's your
really?
reality. And I 100% believe that it is your reality. And that's great, sir.
And
That's
he
your reality.
already
Let me
acknowledged
ask
that
you
he's
a
not
question. Let me
representative
ask
of
you.
all of
Right.
the truckers in
Hold
America.
on.
So
Hold
when we
on a
talk about
second.
Trump,
Hold on a
sir,
second.
unless
Are you
Trump came
telling
down
me?
to your trucking
Are,
company, gave you a raise, or or got you promoted, or bought you a new truck, or did any
hold
of
on a
that
second.
stuff, right? We talk
Hold
about the
on a
trucking
second.
industry as a whole, right? We talk about the
Hold
entire
on.
industry because Donald Trump's tariff policies have very negatively affect the trucking industry as a whole, not one individual trucker. Again, I'm not going to say at any certain point, right, that like, okay, trucking is down in the United States, all these companies. That doesn't mean that not a singular trucker did well. I'm sure there are some, right? Like, I'm sure there's some people that did well, did better in all sorts of things, right? In their jobs, maybe they really earned a promotion. And I think that that's really awesome, okay? But that is not on Donald Trump because Donald Trump is the president of the United States, and we're looking at the data that goes across the entire United States. And your specific anecdotal individual experience does not change that. Okay. And so, no matter what you tell me about what you think is going on with your own personal life or where you fill up your truck at your local gas station or whatever, first of all, none of that is verifiable. And second of all, even if it was, that is your specific anecdotal experience and not the experience of the whole.
You know what? This is why. This is one of the reasons why the Democrats didn't do well with blue
Add
collar
it to the
workers,
list.
and they didn't do well either with the working class. This is
God
why,
forbid we like
because
data.
we are the ones who are out here doing this thing day and night. Okay, we are the ones who are here doing this thing day and night, and you're going to tell me, oh, that's not your reality, it's not the trucking industry reality. We are the ones paying the insurance. Insurance went up under Joe Biden government
Awesome. And what did Joe
almost
Biden do to raise insurance?
75%.
Awesome. And what did Joe
Almost
Biden
70%.
do to raise
I'm
insurance?
talking about what's going on. I'm
Yes,
talking
sir. What
about
did
what's
Joe
going
Biden
on
do to
under
raise
his
insurance?
government,
What did Joe Biden
right?
do to raise your insurance?
I am talking about what's going on under
And
his
I'm
government.
asking
You
you a
see,
question, sir.
you
You
guys will
said under
defend.
Biden,
You
insurance
guys
went
will
up.
defend.
I'm not even arguing the point. I just said, what did Joe Biden do to actually raise your insurance prices?
The whole industry, the whole
No, sir.
manufacturing
You
industry.
just said we weren't talking about the industry. You said your insurance prices went up. What did Joe Biden do to raise your insurance? Or what did he do to raise anybody's insurance prices? I'm just curious. What did he do?
I said under his government.
Yeah, COVID
That
happened
doesn't
under Donald
change the
Trump's government and
conversation.
millions of people died. Does that mean it was Donald Trump's fault?
Millions of people died under Joe Biden government too.
Yeah,
In fact,
exactly.
more
So
people died under
was that their fault or was it
more people
COVID's
died under
fault?
Joe Biden
Was that their fault or was
Those
it
people
COVID's fault,
died
sir?
under,
Sir, it's a simple
those
question. Was
people
that their
died
fault or
under
was
Joe
that
Biden
COVID's
government
fault?
Well, I guess by
Donald
his
Trump
logic,
government.
since he doesn't want to answer the question, I'll go ahead and help him out and answer it for him. According to him, because Biden, because he was president and more people died under Biden because of COVID, it is Biden's fault. So, yes, it is Trump's fault that people died because of COVID. It is also Trump's fault that 17 million American citizens lost their jobs under the COVID-19 pandemic. Or, sorry, it's actually 15 million. And then also, it is Biden's accomplishment that 17 million people were hired in his first 2 years of presidency
That's a great point.
during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, can we get some W Joe Bidens in the chat and some L Trumps?
W. Joe Biden in the chat for doing, because apparently if it happens under your presidency, it's 100%, on you. Also, I stubbed my toe this morning, and that is Donald Trump's fault. I just thought
The
it was
store was out of beef stock this morning. That is also Donald Trump's
Yeah.
fault.
Sir, what are you going to do about Donald Trump having me stub my toe this morning?
Listen,
No, I really want to know, sir,
reality-
since
reality
everything that
about-
happens under the
reality
president's
about-
administration is his problem and it's his fault, since he is currently president and I stubbed my toe, that is technically on Donald Trump. And I need a fix to this. What is Donald Trump going to do to make it where I don't stub my toe anymore?
You know what? I'm gonna say this, and I think this will put sense to the whole conversation that everybody
Move
has on
to
this
strike the
program.
witness response as
Once you're-
non-responsive.
Once
Can I treat the witness as hostile?
whatever
Yes,
government-
permission
any
to treat
government that
witness
is-
as hostile.
any government that is
Uh-huh.
in power, any president
Any
that is in power, whatever happens under his government, he's responsible for.
Yeah.
Let me
So
And
what is
I
he gonna do
stubbed
about
my
his stubbed
toe. It
Right.
hurts.
Right.
It's kind of
Let me
swollen.
move a little bit.
It's a little red.
It's a little red, and I know I did something for it this morning with some the freaking
I need
hydrogen
Trump to come down and
peroxide.
ice
But
it
come
for
on.
me. I think if Trump came and iced it for me,
Let me move to a more
I'd prefer
To-
you
hot
didn't.
topic.
move to
Immigration.
a country, a different country that you
hot
understand
topic.
better.
A hot topic. Listen,
Sir, no, we're not
let me
moving to
move to
anything, okay?
another topic.
Sir, presidents are
Immigration, right?
responsible for the things that
Under-
they do
under-
or that they don't do,
under this
okay?
president-
They're not
under this
responsible for
president
everything that happens under their presidency. They're responsible for the things that they do or they don't do. If a president does something good, yeah, he's responsible for that action. He gets the credit for that action. If he does something shitty, he's also responsible for that one. If he doesn't act, he's also responsible for that. But he's not responsible for things that happened, that were signed into law before he became president. He's not responsible for worldwide pandemics that come out of fucking China. Now, you might be responsible for your response to that pandemic, but you're not responsible for the actual pandemic happening. And you're sure as hell not responsible for the response of the previous president and how they treated that, right? You're not responsible for that, whether that was good or bad. You don't get responsibility for that, sir. So when you like to say this thing, and I know that we have this giant running list, right, of every reason that every uneducated person who doesn't know anything about politics nor took a singular civics or political science class in their life wants to tell us the problem with the Democratic Party, right? And why the Democrats lost in 2024. The reason is, sir, the reason why the Democrats lost is because people like you aren't educated enough to vote, but yet we still let you. Okay, and if we actually force only educated people to vote, people that actually understood our government to be able to vote, then Republicans wouldn't have a chance in hell because they've caused the last 10 recessions. They freaking pretty much destroyed the middle class, right? They get us into all forever wars and all sorts of and everything else. If people that were only educated and only understood our government actually voted, then the Republican Party wouldn't even fucking exist. It would be a bunch of freaking center leftists voting against a bunch of far leftists. And that would be all it would be. But unfortunately, sir, according to our Constitution, you're allowed to vote. Okay? And as long as you're still allowed to vote and to spread your very uneducated, no knowledge having freaking, opinion around the United States, then we're going to continue to still have Republicans in power. Unfortunately.
Yikes.
I sit here and
caller.
I sit here and listen. I sit here and listen to you rumble about uneducated and all that crap, and you don't know nothing about me.
You're right. I know nothing, sir. You're so much smarter than me. You win. Should we move on to someone else?
We can, but I do want to ask this quick question. Let's
Things
see.
like these let people
So you've admitted that you are an
Let's
immigrant.
Rumble. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. So you're an immigrant, right, sir? Have you ever been pulled over and asked to recite your ABCs to make sure that you speak English as an immigrant?
First of all, let me say this to you, lady.
I'm
This is
done
America.
with your first of
America
all.
don't even, America don't.
Bye. Have a good
American
day. Happy Sunday. Thank you, Kilo, for the 5. Just asked that question. I thought that would be funny to ask. All right. There are a few. There's a bunch, guys. You guys.
We're gonna take one more caller.
Oh, yeah, we can. Yeah, exactly what Paulie said. I know you guys heard him. Shush, 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 shush. Yeah, this is funny. Shush, 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 shush. No more stub toes in America. Can we get that hashtag in the chat, guys? Go ahead and hashtag that one up.
Hashtag no more stub toes.
Also, real quick, guys, if you haven't already hit that follow button or that subscribe button, go ahead and do it now. You can find me at Mermaid RE0 on the tubes, Politics 1.0 on the tubes. Find us either way, whichever way you're on, and then it's Politics all one on TikTok, mermaid.re on TikTok. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, mega bitch.
Have you learned more than 10 words yet?
Just mega bitch.
That's still not 10 words.
Mega bitch.
That's all you got?
Get rid of this guy. Why is he still on?
Mega
Hang
bitch.
up for this
Okay,
fool.
bye.
I have 40 minutes till game time. All right. Can everybody hear? Also, okay, I turned down the caller volume just a little bit, so hopefully everybody can still hear just fine.
Hey, are you there?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. How old are you?
26?
26. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Why are you still supporting him in 2026?
I didn't really call to talk about Trump. I just called to tell you Drake May's the MVP. The Chargers are going home today.
I
Might as
don't
well
know
take
who
those
that
jerseys
is.
off now.
Sir, you should have waited until Paulie
You
was
don't know
still
who Drake
here.
May is and you wearing a Chargers jersey?
I don't know. I don't know the team. You know who this is? This is Junior Seau's jersey, right? Like do you know who I know from the Chargers? Justin Herbert.
Well, Drake May's on the Patriots.
I also know who else. This guy made a comment about the football and you left. Who's the running back? I swear I know his name.
I know his name. That doesn't mean you know his name.
I know. That's what's like. This isn't my team. I'm doing well to know Justin Herbert.
I know the
Okay.
first string running back, second string running back, third string running back,
But
and the
Make a
running back
joke
we
about
have on
it.
IR.
You're not
Okay,
even
so-
a Chargers fan and you're wearing that jersey. You can throw the Pats jersey on. Have some debate.
She's acclimate, dude. She's learning. Okay.
You should be
she's
learning
coming-
about the winning team.
the winning team.
Who is it?
With
Yeah,
the Pats?
he said he made some
You mean
kind
that?
of
You mean the
joke.
team that only beat up with a literal word, like easiest strength of schedule in the entire NFL?
The easiest
Has
strength of schedule
did Drake
in
May
the-
throw a
Didn't you
singular
guys lose to the
touchdown pass
Titans?
against a top 15 defense this year?
Didn't you guys lose to the Titans? Am I mistaken?
Did you guys lose to the Raiders?
Week 1?
you
Going all the way
you
back
guys,
to week
you guys
one?
lost to the literal worst team in the NFL with the Raiders. The #1 draft pick, getting Mendoza. Yeah,
Oh, man.
that backfired quickly,
Oh,
didn't
man.
it?
You're going back
Get
to
out-
week 1.
Get out of here.
Listen, I don't know. All I know is that he tried to make a joke, and I'm like, dude, you're talking to the wrong person.
He
Wait for
left.
the guy to talk. Yeah, like
Man, did you see how I froze him with that Raiders comment though? That was quick,
I know
dude.
Nothing. I'm lucky. I ask him. I have to make it a rule where I only ask him questions about how football is played when the Chargers are not playing. Because
Dude, she
I don't
starts
know
asking the dumbest
anything.
fucking questions during the game, and I'm like, if you don't be quiet, let me enjoy this thing, dude. Like, if during the other games, I allow it. She's getting better though.
I'm still gonna tell you this real quick. A bye week literally means that your team was sold. Okay.
Yeah, you thought a bye week means that your team was sold. Someone bought it. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
You know what? I'm just not even dealing with that. Hello, how are you?
Oh, hello there, sir. You guys are the ones that are streaming, right?
We are doing that, yes.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. I just wanted to say, look, I love what you guys are doing. To a degree, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I'm in the middle. I'm like not left and I'm not right.
There is no middle
And
anymore.
I'm what do you call?
The middle is just the
Of
right.
course there is.
No, there's
Sure
not.
there is. Sure.
Nope, the middle is just the right.
All right. There's okay. There's sometimes I will support what Trump is doing, not now, but there are times when I don't support them, which is right now. But yeah, I mean, I would love for there to be a three-party system, and maybe it's a pipe dream, but
Change the rules of the FEC,
I
and there could be.
Well, it's not
I'm
that
sorry, say that
I would
again.
love a third. I'd love a fourth party. Like to get at least 4 or 5. I mean, you should really have like a far left, a center left, like a center right, and a far right, and then like kind of like more of a centrist, right?
And
Like,
Germany, for all of its
Yeah,
problem,
yeah.
has about 6 parties.
well, Canada has 4 or
Yeah.
5, right?
Yeah, but
I
they
would say
also
5
kind of
parties.
seem to
How,
operate
yeah, I
on a
would say you
two-party majority.
have a 5 party. I don't
It's
know.
parliamentary
It
too.
feels like a bit. It
Yes.
sounds like it's a bit much. It sounds a bit much.
No, it's simple. See, what we have right now is
to
we have one
to
far
have
right
so many.
policy and one center right, far right party and one center right party, and that's all we have.
And you got to have someone to break up the craziness, because sometimes it seems like, ooh, that seems a bit too much to be that far left, or ooh, that's too much to be that far right. Look, I'm all for making sure that we don't kill all the babies or whatever, but it's also a woman's to do what she wants to do. That is okay. You can do those. She should be able to have that right.
Can we
But yeah,
kill
there
more
should be
babies?
exceptions, correct?
I'm
sorry.
pro
I
post
got
birth
I got a couple.
abortions.
Yeah.
I'm pro post birth abortions. At
Yeah,
like
maybe
maybe
30, 40, 50.
I'm not
60,
opposed to
70
it
years old.
occurring at like 90 years later.
Yeah,
Post birth
that's what I'm
abortions.
talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I don't know, the divisiveness in this country is killing me. I'm so I'm so over it. And
Sir,
of
the
what's
divisiveness is being
happening to
caused
us.
by people on the right, okay, that are using their rhetoric in order to divide, and no offense, well, that's a lie, a little offense. People in the center who are trying to freaking balance in between fascism and democracy, because that's what we have right now, right? We have Donald Trump, who is literally, fighting for authoritarianism, fighting for fascism, who is pretty much saying, we got the guns, we got the law, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want, right? We're gonna send out our ICE Gestapo to shoot down American citizens and kill American citizens. And we have that, right?
And
all the way on one side. And in the
yeah,
center,
I agree.
and on the left, we have people going, how about we don't murder people, and how about we treat people humanely? And then we have people like you saying, I'm somewhere in the middle of that, and that's a problem.
Not exactly, but that's not all the time. The thing is that at a certain time, when you get the extremes that are on the right, then it's like when I jump to the left side and I'll say, hey, you know what? No, that is not okay. It's those who just sit there and do nothing.
What's a far left
With the other
ideology?
guys.
Yeah, I'd also like
I'm
to know
sorry?
that.
What is a far
I mean,
left
yeah, there's
ideology?
also there are those who are on the far left who commit certain atrocities.
What
that
is
are
an
just
ideology of the
as
far
bad.
left?
What is the ideology of the far left? They want to be free. It's like
An
this.
ideology.
They want to be super free, but I'll say it like this.
Freedom?
On the far right,
Freedom is an
or
ideology of the far left. Guys,
Doing
if
great
you
so far,
believe-
guys.
If you
I'm gonna
believe
explain
that
something to
you
you.
are free
Go ahead,
in the
go ahead.
United States of America, you are far left.
Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, to a degree, yes. I mean, well, yes, you would think so. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say just this one thing. Is that, and well, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. We're all obsessed with stories. All of us. every single last one of us, our ideology is what is right. Whether you're left or right or in the middle. If my story, like if your story doesn't align with mine, you're wrong, and mine is right. I don't think anybody's wrong, should I say? But it's kind of hard for me to put some words. But there's no way that being able to accept other people's stories should be the thing. Because think of it this way: you tell me, what is the greatest story in the world, in your opinion? I just want to test.
How Harry Met Sally.
How Harry Met Sally? Okay, and
A
yours?
Nightmare. I want to change that actually. A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Good one. That's good. And now somebody else might say, and I can hear it on the far right. I can hear it already. The Holy Bible. But there's one thing that they all have in common. They're all stories. Every single last one of them is a story. And we just could just realize it's a story. My story is no better than yours. I don't know.
So when we literally see Donald Trump kidnap a president of another country, that's just a story?
I've seen them. Yeah.
It's just a story.
Stories.
We're no longer in reality. We're all just in a
Stories.
storybook, y'all.
I'm sorry. I still can't get over that freedom is woke now. I literally don't even know if I can continue this conversation.
Freedom is woke.
Because I cannot get over freedom being woke now. Okay, which is apparently a thing. And like
Well, no, you know what? Guess what? Everybody's going to have an opinion. Everyone's going to have an opinion.
Yes, opinions are like
Everybody's got-
assholes. Except the problem is not everybody actually has assholes. That is a genetic.
I mean, if you don't have an opinion, it's like.
Freedom is woke.
All right, sir. Well, great conversation, I think. Have a wonderful day, all right?
Wait.
He said, wait. What are we waiting on?
Dude, I did not know we were getting to freedom is woke. That is
Freedom
a
is
wild
woke.
thing to
See,
say to someone.
I
Holy
was
shit.
today's years old when I learned. This is a Reddit post, guys. TIL.
I can hear Donald Trump already at. Sorry. Freedom is a democratic hoax. Every single time they say the people want the freedom and they just lie and they lie. It's a democratic hoax. That's all they want to say is you guys want your freedom. Nobody wants freedom. That's why I'm signing Executive Order 14873, which takes away all your freedom so the Democrats don't win.
847.
Huh?
847.
847. It's Executive Order 474747. I can't count to 5. Takes away freedom.
Oh no, I know. It's 114547. Or is it 45 45 47?
I don't know.
47 45 47? I wish
6
we
7
could...
6 7 6 7
6 7.
DJ, thank you so much for the trophy cake. I really appreciate that. Francesca, thank you so much for the jewels. Tay, thank you so much for the New Year's Eve. I really appreciate that. Eddie, thank you so much for the $5. Says standard for Dems. Is it perfectly moral? Standard for reps. Is it technically legal? I need to save that. That is so well said. It's crazy. Because that is exactly the standard that is literally held. Like literally
No,
every single time.
I don't even think is it technically legal? I think it's how far is illegal from legality?
Yeah, exactly. How can I try to make it technically legal? If I can find a camera angle, does that make it technically legal? Nomas Tomas, thank you so much for the $5. Says, I appreciate you both. Can I suggest a topic for a future show? In detail, discuss and explain the difference between Donald and any former POTUS. Oh, I feel like I do that nightly, just not saying it that way.
Thank you, Chris, for the 10 over on Venmo. Said he was upset that we started 2 hours ago when he was at the bar watching football. But we're still on, so y'all get a 10.
Also, remember that all of these lives are available for replay over on the YouTube. They're all saved there, and they all come out exactly how they are right now. And that's the reason why we had to get on too early, because again, half an hour until we're ready to go. And Javana, thank you so much for the $5. And Arian Pauly, so the color is fine with a 1,600 plus or minus person pardon, but gets hard over a single person, Hunter Biden. Please make that make sense. That's easy, yes, because Hunter Biden is literally Satan. I don't know if you know this or not. Yeah.
Man, that ruins it. Now I can't say HAIL Satan anymore. I don't like that. Can you take that back? Ooh, thank you, Moose, for becoming a super fan again.
Oh, yeah. Eddie, thank you so much for the $5. And how can he film and shoot at the same time? You're saying he wasn't using a two-handed phone? I call cap. Yeah, that's why he dropped it. That's why you could see that in the video. It's literally willful ignorance at this point. Like, if you, like, with all the camera angles out, it is literal willful ignorance.
I don't know if it's willful ignorance so much as blind faith in Donald Trump and his word.
I take those as the same thing, I think. I'm not sure. Those might be one and the same at this point.
You're not wrong.
User, thank you so much for $5. Said Trump supporter here and pro ICE, but these guys are poorly trained and it was a bad shot. Yeah. I mean, I think that, and that's the thing, like, and truthfully, and user, I hope you're still here if you are or whatever, but dude, this is not a left or right thing. This is not a Democrat Republican thing. This is the government murdering U.S. citizens thing, and everybody should have a problem with that. Period.
But here's the thing. Here's what's inherently wrong already with his statement, that he was poorly trained. Officer Ross is former Marines, and according to the Department of Justice, he has 20 years as an ICE officer. He's not poorly trained.
And we were, funny enough, we were actually having this conversation about the training and all that sort of stuff, and like really like, and this is what, and this is truly what we were having this conversation. And you can agree with us, disagree with us, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I think it has less to do with training in this situation. I think that the Trump administration has escalated this situation and caused tensions to go so high, right? That these guys are under just like constant, like whatever. And this is not excusing him. I am in no way excusing his act. His act is murder, period, point blank. Okay. But what I am saying is that this is what happens when you try to escalate every situation, right? It's just asking for bad things to happen. It's asking for people to be killed. It's asking for all of these things, right? Because now, there's so many of them out there, right? And every time they're out there, there's these giant protests and there's people fighting back with good reason because they're committing illegal acts. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you're going to see people that maybe were Iraq war veterans, right? Like this guy, maybe people that have been in ICE for 20 years still commit that violence because the rhetoric from the Trump administration puts them at like above people. Like, you ever hear that old study like about like they took like 20 random people and they made like 10 of them prisoners and 10 of them the guards. And after like a week of it, like the guards, like, and these were all just like classmates at this college or whatever. And after like a week of it, all of the guards started like mistreating and abusing the inmates. It's an amazing study. It was done, I think, in like the 60s or the 70s or something like that. And they've redone it since then, where they've actually shown that like when you put people, the Stanford experiment, thank you so much. Yeah, the Stanford experiment. And
They
yeah,
have something like that on Netflix right now, don't they?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
You're thinking of something different, but yeah. But anyways, if you ever like read up on that, it actually shows that it's just like by putting those people in those positions of power and putting them as like, I'm over you, like I'm in charge, like whatever, it literally creates the environment for abuse, right? And I'm just saying that like this feels similar to me, right? This feels similar to me where they're being put into that position and they're being told they have access to immunity and everybody is against them and all that sort of stuff. And it's going to cause, it's going to cause situations like this, and more are going to happen. Someone says it's literally on Netflix. Oh, I guess it is on Netflix. I don't know. I read about it a long time ago, but
Yeah, the one that I was thinking of that we saw the preview for was where they pulled the guards out and were like, "All right, y'all
Yeah.
running yourselves." That's the one I was thinking of.
That's the one I thought you were thinking of too. That's why I
You
was
were
like, oh,
right.
it's a
You were
different
right.
one. Yeah. But
Yeah. See, he does know me pretty well. What are y'all talking
yeah,
about?
yeah, I got that. But anyways, that's what I was thinking of. Again, this is not excuse the act in any way, shape, or form. It's just a you know, it's just some food for thought to go along with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Thank you, user. I appreciate that. Robs, thank you so much for the $5. Said, why is ICE dumb enough to stand in front of a car? A real cop knows better. ICE also has only 47 days of training.
That's the 47 days of training thing has been beyond debunked. So basically what that was is someone saw a post where Donald Trump was lowering the amount of time that an ICE officer was in training, and somebody at the DNC think tank ran with it, made it a political stunt saying it was 47 days. Guys, it's not true. That's not a thing.
Is it less or more?
It's 8 weeks.
I mean, are they only training 5 days a week?
See, that's what they did.
That was a serious question. If it's 8 weeks and it's only 5 days a week, if they get the weekends off, then it's only 40 days. And even if it's every day during that week, that's not much more than 47.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna figure this out.
8
I'm gonna do
weeks. If
math.
it's every day, I mean, isn't that Army basic training?
That'd be 40 days. So even then, they still were wrong.
That's what I'm saying. But like 8 weeks, that's Army basic training.
It is.
And I think Army basic training is 8.5. I think Air Force basic training is 8.5 now too.
Yeah.
So
It's
but,
40
but
days.
again,
It's
but
5
the difference
days.
is that like that's basic training, and then the military people don't just go to basic training and they're just like go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, it's
then
crazy.
there's extensive training after that.
If you go to BLA and you do the extensive course, it's 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yet they've lowered it to 8 weeks.
That'd be 48 days for 7 days a week still.
It'd be 56. It'd be 56 if you went all 7 days. If you only went 5 days a week, then it's 40 for 8 weeks, guys.
Anyways, doesn't matter. Not good. Frost King said, thank you for the $5. Said, if you're afraid of a car turning away from you at 2 miles per hour, perhaps you should stay at home like the coward you are. ICE is now a terrorist organization. I mean, they do. Oh my God, I broke it.
You don't right click.
I didn't mean to. I mean, they do technically fit the definition of an ideological organization that's trying to commit trying to instill fear through violence.
Yeah.
It fits the definition, but hey, whatever. Thank you so much. Vestros, thank you so much for the $5. Said this is not accurate. They can hold you to investigate a possible crime. They would have to prove in a court, but that's after the fact. Yeah, I thought that was too. Is that?
That's what I said. They could tell me that I have to stay in place while state police come to get me, but I can still drive away and they have no authority to shoot me.
No, that's not what he's saying.
Oh.
He's talking about your comment earlier about Minnesota being able to hold him for crimes.
Oh.
That's what that's
maybe.
about.
But I mean, from everything that I've read, that it would be quite easily arguable to move it to a federal court, and that's exactly what the Department of Justice will do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what you were saying. You were saying they could arrest somebody who would move to a federal court. That's what it was.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what it was. But thank you so much, Vestros. Raging Butterfly, thank you so much for the 6-7. I really appreciate that. Robs, thank you so much for the $10. So the way it works is that Republicans crash the economy, Democrats fix the economy, and the Republicans take credit for the fixing of the economy just before they crash again. This is literally the U.S. economy over the last 45 years. Is just this statement right here. Like, true story. True story. Thank you so much, Robs. Grace and Peace said, love the work you guys are doing. Thank you so much for the $10, and thank you so much, Grace. Leonardo, thank you so much for the $2. And maggots are gooners. They goon to Trump. Yeah, that's for sure. Andrew Vana said, I would love it if Ari or Polly could ask the truck driver the question I left in the chat in Discord. I did see that after that caller was gone, so I do apologize. But thank you so much. I should have paid attention. We actually haven't found a spot for Discord on this setup, so we got to work on that.
Also, it would depend on whose Discord, because
yeah, that's also true. Jen, thank you so much for the $5. I love y'all and I love my Pats. Cheers to a great game. I don't want a great game. I want to walk all the living fuck over you. I want to win.
He
by
wants
30.
a blowout.
Yeah, I don't even want it to be close. I don't need a heart attack today. But thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate that. Shush, thank you so much for the 2 jewels. Ghost Walker, thank you so much for the $5. I'm seriously losing brain cells listening to these Trumpers. How do you think we feel?
Accurate.
Yeah, at least you don't have to respond. Goodness. Crowley, thank you so much for the 2 hours. Said, Ari, what size Drake May jersey do you want? If you send a great Drake May jersey here, I will exit it out of my house immediately. Just thought I'd
Take
let you
a
know.
guess. That's all I got.
Yeah, you can guess which size jersey you'd like me to burn outside the front yard.
Yeah.
Maybe make it a big one so it's a nice large fire.
Also, it shouldn't be hard to
TPA,
guess my size, guys. Like,
TPA, thank you so much for the jewels. Eddie, thank you so much for the $5. Says, I recently found out that the shade of red on MAGA hats is... What?
I don't. Khmer Rouge?
Khmer?
I don't know how to say that.
I don't know either.
Rouge is the next word.
I don't know what this means. But thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I don't know what that is.
From Cambodia, Vietnam. I'm so confused. The war in Cambodia? All right, we're apparently missing something with Cambodia and Khmer Rouge.
What is?
It's a shade of...
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah,
Google.
What time is it? All right, I got a quick second. Oh, that's good. I'm sorry I had to look that up, but that was really good. Khmer Rouge was a name popularly given to the members of the Communist Party of Kampuchea?
Kampuchea. I don't know.
Sure. Whose brutal radical communist regime ruled Cambodia, which they named democratic, that word again, from April 1975 to January 1979. Their attempts to transform Cambodia into a self-sufficient classless agrarian society led to a genocide in which an estimated 1.5 to 2 million people, nearly a quarter of the country's population, died of execution, starvation, disease, and forced labor.
You know what I find interesting? I Googled it on my phone as you looked it up on the computer, and we don't have the exact same AI overview.
Oh, well, how was yours different?
It says, under the leadership of Pol Pot, the regime's attempts to create an isolated agrarian utopian resulted in the deaths of, and then it goes into deaths. But yours doesn't have the leader's name. Mine does.
You know what that probably is?
Why?
It probably picks up how we read detail and what we actually care about, and that
it's
actually
listening to us.
It's in the closet.
It's here. It even phrased the last one differently.
Yeah, it's never exactly the same.
So
though.
weird.
But
yeah,
here,
this is why we say don't trust AI, guys.
100%. All right. Anyways, y'all, we got to get off. Obviously, game starts in 15 minutes. So, and I am honestly already stressed out and feel like I'm having a heart attack. 666 in the chat over there. Concurrent viewers.
Hey, yo. Now we'll say Hell Satan, but it's not Biden.
But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. We will be back on tomorrow on our own platform. So make sure you're following both of our platforms and all this sort of stuff. Really appreciate you guys. And bolt up. Go Bolts, baby. Love y'all. Have a good one.